See what this looks like. Oh, my highlight was when I didn't die. Oh, when I sniped. Ah, nice. Yes. It was when I sniped the Scarlet Witch after I blocked her special. I blocked her as a victim to this movement and become mindless fucking mouthpieces for hatred, right? And end up doing crazy shit that threatens their life and fucks up their career and safety and everything even fucking more than it was before, right? Like doing something that's like raiding the Capitol on behalf of the president. Fucked them up. I fucked them up. That was really fun. Is it destroyed? I'm blowing up. I'm shooting this shit.
But way more comfortable spinning around and reading about whoever. Instead, we can just talk about, regardless of definition, is it good or bad to reject democratic rules? Is it good or bad to threaten the media based on my principles, which value the rest of the media?
So Trump has repeatedly called for investigations into reporters, into media outlets. He believes that the business licenses of ABC and CBS, MSNBC, he says, should be pulled. I mean, you don't see these sorts of threats from the Democratic Party.
Okay, so let's get into them.
Maybe he did.
Has Trump pulled anybody's license ever as president? Has he actually sent any government officials to do any investigations of any major?
So you agree, though,
stop
him saying...
That's my, I wanna see it. How many kills did I even get this game? It was like 4. Oh yeah? Let me look at the highlight. What the fuck? Oh my god. Yo, this is crazy. It's like the bus, but just the whole house. Attack the creepy arms with just these. Just one.
Of course it was Lynn that said yes.
I feel bad for Lynn because she just seems dumber than fuck. She's just a fucking guy.
Oh
No,
man.
Lynn seems like dumb sweet, you know? Like
Yeah,
someone who's
like
just
me.
so sweet
That's
makes them
what I
dumb.
mean. I'm just like, bro, hang it up.
Is that me?
No.
No.
Right.
I don't know how I come off. I don't know how I come off at all, because when I was like not full of PTSD and like saw people in person, they all told me I came off very intimidating, and they all thought I was a bitch until they got to know me, and then they're like, "You're the sweetest fucking person ever."
You seem like the right amount of like nice. Like Lynn sounds like she'd be walking down the street with absolutely nothing to her.
I got that
Very was it a naive optimism?
Happen to hear something, it takes away all of the weight and momentum. But this is going to come back later. I do want to put this out later because, like I said, I thought that this was interesting, but I will be harping on it later. So, we are now introduced to our main character, Jeff, the young man, presumably mid-teens, because once again, God forbid they give us any kind of age to really give an idea. Not even like a grade, like they say, because the whole thing here is.
Let's see what this looks like.
For relaxing times, make it Centauri time.
Oh, my highlight was when I didn't die. Oh, when I sniped. Ah, nice. Yes. It It was when I sniped the Scarlet Witch after I blocked her special. I blocked hers. All I gotta do is hit the ground. Nice, I walked off and got my did and got booted. Wow. That's annoying. How was this my highlight? I feel like I had gotten cooler shit before. That was a 5 player kill streak, but still, dude, I fucked up the whole team at some point, just bombarding them with that, like, Green Hulk shit, the radiation stuff. Oh my god. That was the highlight? It was the highlight for you? That was funny as shit, dude. Oh, that's a nice highlight that I got for me. Fucking them up. This is the craziest PvP experience. I was hoping, you know, we get some like good firefights, and because I wanted to have like a video to use for the video I'm going to be making for PvP. Well, let me clip this. I like that. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Choice clip. Well, I didn't pick up. I almost accidentally started the rating process. I don't even know if the clip actually worked. Does it actually get the clip in? It doesn't seem like it did. Daimacho. Oh. Daimacho every day. They're just like, why is this guy saying weed? This guy's embarrassing me. It's making me look like a fool on the stream. Alright, I got him without that much damage, so maybe I could clean this back. Oh, the character's he looks so sick. How did he? Oh, he did the block. Fuck. Damn, this guy really is always there. How did I not pick that up? I'm pressing X. Oh yeah. That really did feel like Iron Man right there. Oh wait, no, I don't want to watch that shit. Got him. That was sick. Jarvis clipped that. Okay. Let's do this. What's my clip? What's my highlight? This? I guess because I protected everybody? Oh. Oh man! It's not the same thing every single time. When you do space ripples, the objective will always change. There's only been a couple of them that I've seen so far. Like, there's one where a Gatling gun drops and you have to shoot a lot of enemies at once. And, like the one I just did where you have to kill all the eggs and stop all the guys from spawning. The license plate reads 3CP462. Alright. Now, this is a reference to SCP-462, codenamed the Getaway Car. And the Getaway Car is described as being a rusty Chevy El Camino, that instantly teleports people to their destination, but in dangerous ways. This is not something that teleports people, but it definitely will get you to your destination, and the description for the SCP in the file matches the description or the look.
Music itself, you know, the feeling of it, the sound of it.
What's going? Oh no! Hold on. Technical difficulties, my guys. Give me 1 second. Of course, we got the technical difficulties, because why not? Why not? Ay, Dios. We're still? Give me 1 second, guys. There we go. There I am. Alright. I blame myself for that. I was being very indecisive with whether or not I wanted to stand up or sit today. It's like a hot day. It's been like pretty cold out here in the last few weeks, so now it's finally like hot and it feels different. My body's still trying to get used to it. So I was like, damn, should I stand up? I kind of want to stand up, but it's still too fucking hot. I want to sit down, I want to chill out. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Regardless, I'm here. We're here. Happy, what day is it today? Fucking Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday afternoon. And I got kind of a lot of things I'm gonna get into today. I do want to say before I dive into anything, fuck Logan Paul. Specifically, fuck Logan Paul. I mean, so many reasons why he's a piece of shit, but he is ruining something that I like a lot, which is WWE, and he's a fucking asshole. This guy that is an economics teacher said that I couldn't say that the GDP and unemployment are good indicators. Our economy doing good? Who is this? What economics teacher are you fucking talking to? Welcome, Soviet Mind, by the way. I hope you're doing very well today. What is this guy? Is a fucking economics teacher for, like, grade school, bro? Like, even then, where is he getting his credentials, bro? I don't believe that. He probably makes, like, YouTube videos online and then claims to be a teacher because of that. Like, where do all these people come from? Like, where do they all come from? All these people that seem to say and feel that they know so fucking much about the economy and business and making money and all this stuff. Yet they say things that, like, if you just think about it for 2 seconds, even if you don't have any knowledge about the economy, it doesn't even make fucking sense. Like, they're out here saying 2 + 2 = 5 type shit. Like, I don't understand how they connect things together the way they do sometimes. But, whatever. Logan Paul, fuck you. I know you don't hear this. You're not gonna ever hear this. But if by any chance I get lucky and you do hear this, fuck you. Get your stupid fucking retarded ass out of WWE. I'm tired of seeing you up here when I'm having a good time watching it with my fucking girlfriend. I'm tired of seeing your dumb fucking face appear, right? Just to act as how you are in real life, right? So it's not really acting, but you're just trying to be like a fucking cartoon character now with it, right? And then You're doing dumb shit. I don't even understand why WWE like allows some of that shit to happen. Fucking during the Royal Rumble, right? An event where the winner was going to be the one who goes to the main event on WrestleMania, right? It was like the Super Bowl, right? They had 4 wrestlers that stopped playing and stopped wrestling for a while. These guys are like the golden age wrestlers, right? They're super popular, been around for a very long time. They were around during like when all of us were kids and we were watching that shit. They're for the first time in fucking God knows how long, they're in the ring again. They're fighting each other, right? Logan fucking Paul comes out of goddamn nowhere. I know that, I know this is all scheduled. It pisses me off that WWE like scheduled this, had this happen this way. It's fucking crazy. He comes out of nowhere, right? And somehow knocks all 4 of these people out of the fucking ring. What? I know that there's a suspension of disbelief happening when you watch this kind of shit, but I can't. That's a type of suspension that there's no way, shape, or form my brain is capable of fucking making. Like, of course, why the fuck is this guy even getting the ability to be in that position right now? Is he paying his way? Is he paying his fucking way? Because he's not even a good actor. He's not even a good wrestler. He's just as good as any other celebrity that they brought out. It's fucking stupid. Triple H is a right winger and he's you know what, dude? I actually didn't even think about that. Holy fuck. Dude, I completely forgot about Triple H's political stances. I see him as some guy who smashes chairs on people's heads. I forget that these guys might actually have a stance politically speaking. But you know what's fucking crazy, dude? Soviet, bro. Oh my god, I wish I could show you this. I wish I could show you this. I know you might not be into... I don't know if you have ever been into WWE or whatever, but recently I've been getting back into it. I have a coworker who used to be a big wrestler back in the day in WWE. Actually, he's the son of the Briscoe brothers, right? And it's on Netflix, right? It's just appearing a lot more around me, so I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna give it its time of day. I'm gonna check it out. Fucking check it out, right? See if it's any good like it used to be. The weirdest things happen on this shit now, right? They're trying to capture, I guess, the essence of culture and society right now. And, one of the first matches I see happens to be this lady, right, who essentially is supposed to be like Trump, but as a young, like, was it fucking female model or some shit, right? What's her fucking name? Woman president. She has like a presidential fucking wrestler, Christina or some shit. I don't know what the fuck. I forgot what her fucking name is, bro. But her whole shtick is to be like, Trump, essentially. A super American, dressed up in like Wonder Woman attire, has a presidential seal as a logo, right? And she even has like another female wrestler who's supposed to be like her Secret Hervis or some shit. And, they have her squaring off against like minorities, right? Some immigrants. And of course, the whole thing occurs like this, where the immigrant minority is kicking her ass. And then she goes and cheats and she uses a weapon and she gets disqualified. She doesn't give a fuck. She steals a title anyway and she fucking walks off with it. Straight Trump shit, right? Meanwhile, all this is happening. I shit you not, front row and center, we could see in the audience, right there, right in front of the ring, it's just a sea of the same looking white people, right? And I'm not trying to be racist, there's a sea of white people with they all got Trump hats, they all got the fucking Trump shit, they all got the right-wing stuff, and they're just sitting there mean-mugging the whole experience, like, I can't believe I'm watching this. I can't believe I'm watching this freaking minority kicking this girl's ass. Like, fuck, it makes us look stupid and bad or whatever. And I can see how angry they are. As a matter of fact, I literally watched one of them walk off. He got up, got out of his seat, and fucking left in the middle of the fight. You can see all this on camera as it's playing out. And I'm just like, holy shit, dude. I can't enjoy anything anymore without this stuff kind of being right there in front fucking face. And I like WWE history, like beyond the Matt Dark side of the. I love that shit, dude. The Dark Side of the Ring stuff on Vice was awesome, right? The Jim Cornette's podcast about that stuff, awesome. Bro, I love the history too. I love the history. As much as I know that this is all fucking like entertainment, this is, you know what? I've always seen this as Soviet. You know, I feel like females, they all have their the reality TV shows and shit. They got like Love Is Blind. They got fucking like, what is it? You can even say Jersey Shore, maybe. All those like trashy reality TV shows, right? They are clearly fake. They're clearly fucking fake, right? They claim to be like real, but they're clearly fucking fake. I feel like this is like the American males version of it, or not even just the American males version. I feel like this is like the combat arts version of it, because it's just like fighting and, you know, what is it, brutalizing, and also sports type stuff. It's like our version of like gladiatorial battles, I guess, but without all the death and fucking psycho shit. Anyways, fuck Logan Paul. I'm done with that rant. I swear to God, I'm done with that rant. Unless it pops up again later on down the line. Anyways, let's move on. Let's cover everything I wanted to get into today. Trump out here doubling down on his clear out Gaza statement, right? His position. Right, he floats again the idea of permanently displacing a bunch of Palestinians from Gaza as a solution to end the fucking war, right? And then he takes it one fucking step further, right? He thinks it's a great idea to just take the whole thing over. He just wants to send over troops and just fucking own the place, I guess. He wants actual US troops on the ground in Gaza to take control of the Gaza Strip, rebuild it apparently himself in their own image or whatever the fuck, while making sure that the same people would not be in charge, right? Literally verbatim said, making sure that the same people would not be in charge. He completely wants the Gazan people, Palestinians, fucking out, right? Why would he want them out? Because he wants to support Israel and its position in terms of its like expansion and all the fucking things that it wants to do, like he said he would. He told us this. He told us he was going to give Israel whatever the fuck they wanted. He said it more than once. So again, I must ask those people who argued with me, the Trump supporters who fucking sat in front of me and told me to my face that somehow Trump, out of all people, is going to be better for the Palestinians than Harris, right? Also, those far leftists, the communists, the communist tankies, right? Those people who argue with me about whether or not Trump was better for the Palestinians than Harris, or if they were both the fucking same, right? Where are y'all now? Because I don't remember the Dems or Biden or Harris or any of these fucking people saying that they wanted to take control of the Gaza Strip, that they wanted to get everyone out. They never said that. They never did anything close to trying to make that happen, right? But here he is. So what was that again, Trumpers? About the peace? And what was that again, Tankies? About both sides are the same? What was that again? Because y'all are very fucking silent right now. As a matter of fact, I took it upon myself to reach out back to somebody who had the audacity to have a fucking months-long argument with me about whether or not Trump was for peace, right? And meanwhile, this guy, even though he felt the need to waste all his time and energy supporting this idea that he was for peace, apparently, not only did he not vote, but he actually doesn't really support Trump like that. Which I don't understand why you would even waste your time having this kind of argument in the first place if you didn't support Trump like that. But I digress. Regardless, I had to point out to him this, right? How do you say that Trump was for peace with this? And, you know, I will give him credit, just a little bit, just a tiny fucking bit. He admitted that he was wrong. He caved in, he told me he was wrong. That he misunderstood or some dumb shit, right? He gave up on a fucking bullshit excuse. However, he doesn't understand why he's wrong, right? He doesn't understand how he was wrong, right? Because he believes that he was lied to that Trump lied to him. Trump never fucking said what he thought Trump was gonna do. He never said that. He did say once that he was gonna bring world peace. I'll grant that, but he never said once, not once, that he wanted true peace in Palestine for both sides. Not once. He did say he was gonna end the war, but he didn't say how. He never said how. And he did insinuate how, actually. He did say to the Israeli people how, because there was a whole community conference that he had. It was like 40 fucking minutes long while he was campaigning for presidency, right? Where he told everybody that he was going to give Netanyahu whatever he wants, that he's going to help them destroy their enemies that they're surrounded by, and make sure that they never set foot in their land again or some dumb shit like that, right? He just kept going with the idea that Trump genuinely said that he wanted peace. And I must say, why does he think this, right? Because I needed to break down how did he come to this conclusion. So there was a Newsweek article. I'm not going to even bother going for it because it's a fucking waste of time. There was a Newsweek article, right, that briefly mentioned some of the positions that Trump had stated. And in those statements, they didn't even have direct quotes, by the way. This wasn't even a direct quote. This was a summary of what was said. So it wasn't verbatim. It was just a summary of it. Apparently, at some point during this discussion, he said they had criticisms against Israel. What were the criticisms, you may say? The criticisms were that they weren't doing enough. It wasn't that they were fucking doing too much violence or that they were fucking stepping over lines or committing war crimes and atrocities. It wasn't any of that shit. It was that they weren't doing enough. Had the guy looked into this, and maybe he wouldn't came to that conclusion, but he didn't. He didn't look into it. He thought that that was enough to come to the conclusion that Trump wanted peace. Hearing that Trump had a criticism towards Israel was enough for him to think that he was saying that Trump wanted peace. The hurdles, the mental gymnastics that you have to go through, bro. But these people are Olympic fucking 10-time gold champions in fucking mental gymnastics. That's the type of shit that you have to go through. Like, these people spent their entire fucking lives doing mental gymnastics to try to make sense of the world around them. I just don't understand how society holds itself together when we have so many people like this. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. Let's go to Kamala rallies and sabotage them so Trump can save us. Yes, let's go do that. Fucking, yeah, why not? Why not? Let's go do it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. I just... Oh my god. I don't know what happened to our collective ability to, like perceive danger, threats. I don't understand what happened to our collective ability to just take what's in front of us and apply common sense to it. I don't know. Maybe I'm asking for too much, man. Maybe I'm asking for too much because there's people out there who say the same things that are coming out of my mouth right now, and they are the ones that should be listening to that advice. And they would turn around and tell me I'm the one who should be listening to that advice. Which is crazy making, right? I'm not about to drive myself insane about this. Fuck this guy. I'm gonna play this though. This is... Why am I speaking about this, by the way? Trump had his first meeting with an international leader, that very first leader being Netanyahu. We finally got around to seeing what they were gonna talk about and the conclusion of said conversation. So, let's watch.
Would Palestinians have the right to return to Gaza if they left while the rebuilding was happening?
It would be my hope that we could do something really nice, really good, where they wouldn't want to return. Why would they want to return? The place has been hell. It's been one of the meanest.
Look at him smiling from ear to ear hearing this shit. This dude is so giddy hearing this. Like, what do you mean, why would they want to return? What do you mean, why they would want to return their own fucking land, their own home? What the hell are you talking about?
Office places.
Why do you think it is a Hold on. Why the fuck do you think it's the way it is right now? It's the guy to your right, you piece of shit. It's the only reason why it looks the way it is right now.
It's I've seen every picture from every angle, better than if I were there. And nobody can live there. You can't live there.
I wonder why.
We can build them
Whose fault is that, bro?
a massive
You think they
amount
fucking did that?
of money supplied by other people, very rich nations, and they're willing to supply it. If we can build something for them in one of the countries,
They're
and it could
willing
be
to
Jordan, it
supply
could be
it.
Egypt,
What
it
are
could
you
be other
talking
countries,
about?
and you could build 4 or 5 or 6 areas. It doesn't have to be one area, but you take certain areas and you build really good quality housing. Like
Even Netanyahu is like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? His smile just went to like, wait, am I supposed to agree with this?
town, like someplace where they can live and not die, because Gaza is a guarantee that they're going to end up dying. The same thing's going to happen again. It's happened over and over again, and it's going to happen again as sure as you're standing there, Peter. So,
the evil in this room is so much. It's so fucking strong. And then I was arguing with this tanky, and he was saying they can't remove the Palestinians because the Palestinian people will fight and get their land back, and it'll be a Bay of Pigs for the U.S. This sounded like a big cope. Wow, it is a big fucking cope. It is a big cope. I guess these people think they'll fight forever as if they have unlimited supplies and fucking unlimited morality or morals, right? Morals, I can't speak. Unlimited morals, as if they got all the supplies and support that they fucking need to be able to do this shit. The disconnection is unreal. The disconnection is unreal. Some of the most passionate people in the United States who claim to be so for saving the lives of the people who live there, the most passionate ones, happen to be the most disconnected ones. The ones that misunderstand the Palestinian people and their plight the fucking most. They misunderstand it the most. And in every single action that they take over here in the United States that they believe is somehow going to help them, actually is them standing directly in the fucking way. Is directly in the fucking way. God, I feel like this whole thing is lasting way longer than it should have, simply because of the fact that the American people can't get their shit together, right? And just figure out who the fuck we should put onto this seat, who isn't going to just completely scam us, con us, and screw everyone over while causing untold devastation and loss of life. They are getting fucked up by Israel alone. Imagine if the U.S. That's what I'm saying, yeah. And, you know, Israel alone is using, what? Shit that the United States supplies it, right? And I know that we have a little bit of a better, I guess, weapons supply agreement going on with Israel than we do with Ukraine, because last time I checked, Ukraine's getting a bunch of, like, our old shit. I'm pretty sure Israel gets some of our old shit, but they also get a lot of fucking new shit, right? And they're also getting direct, like, intel from the CIA and the FBI and all that kind of stuff. So imagine the level of devastation that's going to happen on that playing field if the United States troops had landed in the Gaza Strip. Do you think, I need to know, tankies, I need to know, do you believe that the situation could have happened under a Kamala presidency? I need to know. I need to know. Because I am sick and tired of watching innocent people get screwed the fuck over because we can't help but play this both sides shit and be stuck in this brain rot of team sports politics, right? Where we absolutely need to sacrifice everything, anything and everything just to get back at the other side. For what? For what? For fucking what? Biden is more anti-Israel than Trump, clearly. Exactly. The very fact alone that they were willing to have any type of guardrails at all against Israel in their actions, right? speaks volumes. Like, we had a whole like set of standards. Like, if Israel were to cross any of these lines, clearly we would have to withdraw support, or at the very least put a bunch of pressure onto Israel to stop fucking doing that. At the very least, right? Trump has no incentive to do that. At the very least, if we were like scrapping over fucking crumbs, right? When it comes to like who was better for Israel, I mean, who was better for Palestine, if we were scrapping over fucking crumbs, at the very least, we would know that Biden and Harris would slightly pressure Netanyahu to not do something fucked up, right? At least that was a very least thing, right? With this, Trump doesn't even have that. He doesn't even have that. There's no guardrails. There's nothing. You want Netanyahu? You want some shit to fuck up Palestine? I got you. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go over there and get involved myself. And it's never gonna happen under a Biden-Harris administration. Never. Never fucking was. It never was. Never fucking was.
I hope that we...
And I know that every single time I have this argument with them, they're gonna fucking gish gallop. They're gonna just... whataboutism. They're gonna be like, oh, what about when this Democrat had accepted a bunch of fucking money from this one country? Like, totally irrelevant shit. Totally irrelevant shit. It's the same tactics that the right does. Same tactics that fucking MAGA does.
Could do
the most
something where they wouldn't
pro-peace
want to go
president.
back.
Yeah,
Who
man.
would want-
You know, we forgot to celebrate, guys. We forgot to celebrate. The Ukrainian war finished. It ended. The Israeli-Palestinian war is over now, thank God. Yay, Trump. What is it? All the other wars that I don't even know about also just finished too. I completely forgot to celebrate. Jesus Christ, let me fucking take a dab in celebration that we now live in an era of peace and prosperity, despite the fact that, you know, despite the facts, despite any fact, let alone these facts. Jesus Christ. I laugh so I don't cry, man.
Want to go back. They've experienced nothing but death and destruction.
They've experienced nothing but death and destruction. I wonder why.
Well, I don't think they're going to tell me no. I don't think they're going to tell. I think they're going to tell Biden no, and I think they're going to tell other people no.
So you think it will happen at the end?
I think there's a good chance. Yeah,
How
I'd like to see
many
it
people are you thinking about?
All of them.
He's talking about the ceasefire. He thinks there's a good chance that the ceasefire is going to end, by the way. He has not been at all optimistic about the ceasefire, which is kind of crazy for someone who wants peace, right? The whole peace argument died so fucking fast, along with so many other things. Yet, however, it will never go away, despite it being a rotted corpse, because these people will hang on to any and everything, whether or not it's true or false or bullshit or makes them look like a stupid fucking clown. They'll hang on to anything that makes them feel a little bit better about the choices that they've made and the person that they've elected to be their president of the United States. Anything to make themselves avoid the reality of the situation, to avoid the reality of how much blood they have on their fucking hands. Everything is better now. You should get a Nobel Prize. Everything may look the same, but trust me, they're exactly, bro. I promise you, you're making more money right now. I promise you, you're less broke than you were before Trump is. I promise. You may not notice right now, and your bank account may have not gone up or down at all, or whatever. You may have fucking $0 here, fucking. I promise you, though, you just don't see it yet.
Talking
They're there.
about probably 1.7 million people, 1.7 million, maybe 1.8 million.
Well, fuck this guy. The premises of the interview is the same. He literally doesn't say anything. That's
But
new,
I think all of them,
other
I
than
think
the
they'll be
same
resettled
fucking
in
rotted
areas
shit,
where they can
right?
live a beautiful life.
How do
and
the
not-
Palestinians feel about this? Let's ask them. Let's see. Palestinians fear a repeat of their 1948 mass expulsion in the wake of Trump's remarks on Gaza. They think a second Nakba is coming. Isn't that crazy? Why would you think that they would think that? Why do you think they would think that? Well, it's because apparently the world's strongest leader with the world's strongest fucking army, right? The most powerful man on earth, apparently, next to Elon Musk, is a very much an argument who's more powerful at this point. He's telling them that he's about to send his own fucking army over there to get the fuck out. He's not mincing words. He wants them gone. He wants them permanently resettled outside the territory. Oh, I could see it now. Soviet, I could see it now. I could see it now. I could see how they're spinning this. I can see how they're spinning. They're going to say that Trump actually just wants to take them away from all the rubble and the war and all the fucking shit. He's going to build some nice houses for them. He's going to build them a fucking resort on the beach side. He's going to make it all fucking nice and cozy for them so they don't have to fucking worry about living in the demolition site. That's what they're going to tell us. I could already see it now. That's how they're going to spin this. Despite the fact that Trump has zero plan on what follows. He never tells us what he's going to do after. He only tells us what his next step is, not how he's going to do it, and not how it's going to look after he's done. He doesn't ever have a fucking plan. Because the plan, no, he does have a plan, but he never tells us the plan, because the plan is something that we would obviously fight against. It's something that it would only work for him, right? It would work for him to not tell us, because once he's done it, it's too late. There's nothing we can fucking do about it. We're just going to have to accept that this is the case. Time to put them in the ghettos. Exactly. Time to put them in the ghettos. It's not the ghettos, bro. It's not the ghettos. Trump is going to make his own special Trump apartment buildings, and they're going to be all nice, and they're going to have a McDonald's, bro. You know, they didn't even have a McDonald's before, right? That's like some shit that they would probably say, right? He's gonna bring America and freedom and prosperity over to the Gazan people. That's why he's gonna do all this shit. They are so screwed. It's so sad. I remember, you know, I double down all the time about how I feel when it comes to labeling this whole war as genocide, right? You have way more people, hundreds of thousands of more people, of Palestinians, who are now in danger than they were before. Hundreds of thousands of more Palestinians are now in danger of not only losing everything but their lives because of Trump. We have went from thousands to hundreds of thousands, right? Hundreds of thousands. This is frustrating. Because I would like to say that there was hope, that there's some hope. I would like to say that. I would like to say that there was some hope, that maybe, you know, just maybe we get lucky. I wish we lived in a time where peace, in a real sense, in a way that not only brings justice, but includes, like, all the check marks for humanitarian stuff, right? I feel like we used to live in a world where some of that kind of shit was technically possible. And now, most of it, in a time where it's most needed, is not even come close to possible. 1 million, yes. 1 million. 1 million. There's 7 million Palestinians, I remember reading. There's 7 million Palestinians. Alright. Let me double check this. Hold on, let me just double check this. It's an easy thing I can double check. Population. It's 5 million, my bad. I was up by 2 million. 5 million Palestinians. Alright. The number of deaths, and I'm not saying this to belittle anything, right? Again, I need to stress this when I'm saying this. I'm not saying that it's not as bad or whatever the fuck. I'm not saying any of that shit. What I'm saying this is because I'm making a comparison between what is a genocide and what's not. We have less than, probably just 1%, or maybe even less than 1% of people who have been killed as a result of war, right? That is not a genocide. It's just by the sheer numbers of it, it isn't, right? Especially if you take into consideration the way that they had died, right? When you look at actual genocides, they definitely equal much higher numbers for very specific reasons because of the way these people are being killed, they're being exterminated systematically, right? I feel like that alone should bring into question most people's minds whether or not it's accurate to say it's a genocide, but unfortunately critical thinking has not been taught that much in the United States. That's my current update for Palestine, I guess, in terms of like recent news. Unfortunately, Trump's meeting with Netanyahu did not go good in any way for the Palestinian people. Hassan basically spouts that the democratic socialism is more possible under Trump than Biden. Oh my god, does he really? What, does he really fucking say that? Even though the Democrats, although pretty shit, have been moving left slowly, the Democrats have been progressing well. That's my main argument. That's what I fucking tell all these people. Oh my god, I can't, does he really say that though? Has he actually been saying that democratic socialism is more possible under Trump than Biden? Like, how could they be so fucking blind? Like, how could they be so blind? All these Democrats that they talk shit so much about, some of them have at least taken the time of day to extend an olive branch to them so that they could try and get not only slightly represented, but try to get some of the issues that these tankies have been advocating for, Hassan's been advocating for, to get some of them kind of done or moved in the right direction, right? Because you're trying to push them in the right fucking direction, right? It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Oh, it's crazy that no one sees this. Dude, I just don't get it. Even if they were, alright, look, let me even be more charitable. Even if the Democrats weren't progressing us little by little, they're definitely not taking us back 10 years. Like, not little by little, as fast as they fucking can. Trump is speed running how fast we go backwards, right? All the things that they care about are going to digress so fucking bad, it's going to take decades, maybe even a generation, to unfix this shit, right? Meanwhile, the Democrats have at least been trying to get some of this shit done. Like, how do they fail to see this? When you play both sides, you're basically saying that. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Trump, I don't get it. The psychological damages, bro. You telling me that he's been saying that shit made me have like a fucking brain rupture, dude. I feel like my brain has been fucked up a little bit by hearing that. Jesus Christ. Fuck us on. Anyways, this happened, right? This lady is the Secretary of Homeland Security. She had a brief interview with NBC News to talk about immigrations and, Homeland Security. She's all about that kind of shit. And I guess her perspective on the tariffs and Trump's actions in general. And she had this to say in response to hearing Trump's own words about the tariffs. As a matter of fact, let me show you guys that first before I play this video. This is Trump's post on Truth Social, right? It reads, the tariff lobby, play this music real quick. Right there. The tariff lobby, headed by the globalists, and always wrong, Wall Street Journal, is working hard to justify countries like Canada, Mexico, China, and too many others to name. Continue the decades-long rip-off of America, both with regard to trade, crime, and poisonous drugs that are allowed to so freely flow into America. Those days are over. The USA has major deficits with Canada, Mexico, and China, and almost all countries owes $36 trillion, and we're not going to be the stupid country any longer. Make your product in the USA and there are no tariffs. Fucking retardation! Why should the United States lose trillions of dollars in subsidizing other countries? Why should these other countries pay for a small fraction of the cost of what US citizens pay for drug and pharmaceuticals, as an example? This will be the golden age of America. Will there be some pain? Yes, maybe. And maybe not. Maybe we're all gonna get fucking screwed over. Maybe. But we'll make America great again, and it will be all worth it. The price that must be paid. We are a country that is now being run with common sense, and the results will be spectacular. You hear that, guys? You hear that, guys? There will be pain, and you're gonna have to pay the price. His own words. His own fucking words, but of course, like, yes, of course, only Republicans can say this shit and get away with it. You're right, Soviet. Only they could do shit like this and get away with it. If the Democrats had even came close to saying something like this, they would be executed that same fucking night. And how could they reason with themselves after hearing this and tell everybody around them that everything's gonna get better and that nothing bad's gonna happen and that we're not gonna get fucked over and not gonna have to pay more money and that prices aren't gonna go up and that the entire economy's not gonna go to shit? How the fuck do they still reason with this? Here's another quote, or whatever, Truth Social post, because it's not really a tweet anymore. I don't know what the fuck this is, but we pay hundreds of billions of dollars to subsidize Canada. We do not subsidize Canada. That is a fucking lie. Why? There is no reason. We do not need anything they have. That is a lie. We have unlimited energy. That is a lie. Should make our own cars and have more lumber than we could ever use. We are losing so much. What the fuck is he talking about? Without this massive subsidy that we do not actually have, he's fucking lying. Canada ceases to exist as a viable country. Harsh but true. Therefore, Canada should become our cherished 51st state. This guy is telling us that we should absorb a whole fucking neighboring country into our country as a whole state? What the fuck is this nonsense? Much lower taxes, far better military protections for the people in Canada, no tariffs. Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? If they become part of the United States, they will be experiencing fucking tariffs. What the fuck is... Nothing makes sense here. Nothing makes sense here. Nothing makes sense here. This is what he says. How does his own cabinet administration or whatever, what do they have to fucking say about it? Let's hear. No tariffs, just innovation. Just a hostile takeover from a neighboring fucking country, right? That's all you guys get. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Because you guys will be able to fucking, you know, you guys will, what do we gotta give them? What do we gotta give them? No tax on tips. Ah, there we go. That's it.
Lead to higher prices for consumers, and that these tariffs in particular could see prices increase on food, electronics, and cars. The president himself acknowledging this morning these tariffs could cause, quote, some pain. How is this move helping President Trump fulfill his campaign promise to lower prices?
Incoming COPE.
You know, you've seen the president take action already this week with Colombia, and you saw Colombia react in a very positive way that was good for everyone involved.
Colombia. Oh, I remember. That's what it was. So what she's talking about, I had to have a brief refresher on what the fuck she was talking about. When Trump first got in office, one of the very first things he did was send some people back to Colombia. And Colombia had turned down military planes, right? They said, you have to send them back in actual, like, regular planes or some other shit or whatever the fuck it was, right? Turns out the only reason why they turned them down was some type of, like, legislative bullshit, like some miscommunication or whatever the fuck it was. It was some dumb paperwork nonsense. It was something that was easily fixed, right? His response was to slap a tariff on Colombia, right? And he believes, just like she does, believes that actually was the what had caused Colombia to turn around and actually accept the military planes and people that came in. Even though that's not how any of that shit fucking had happened.
Canada, Mexico, other countries have the opportunity to do exactly the same. So we have a strong leader. He has laid down exactly what he is going to do and what the consequences are. I encourage their leadership teams to get on board and to make sure that they're not pushing up prices. If prices go up, it's because of other people's reactions to America's laws. And that's what President Trump is doing.
That's so fucking stupid. But clearly, you know, of course, her job has nothing to do with the economy, right? So, you know, I'm not expecting her to give any, like, logical takes on economy or tariffs or taxes or anything like that. That's not her position. But, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, carrying water.
Making sure that we're not picking and choosing winners and losers.
So
that
slimy.
the law
She's been a victim. what is this, victim blaming, right? I would consider this victim blaming, telling people that it's their fault that the prices have gone up and that they can't fucking afford it. Like, I would assume that's the case.
Equally to everybody, American citizens. It applies to those who are here illegally and our world
Also,
leaders across
wait a minute. Think about it for a fucking second. If she's blaming, so she's gonna be blaming who for rising the prices? Corporations in America, or is it the people who are importing stuff to us? And wait a minute. I think she's cooking here, right? So if she's blaming the people who import shit to us for raising the prices because they got tariffs, like, then does that not mean that tariffs don't work and that they don't lower prices of anything and that they actually make everything cost more? Like, did that not click in her head? That's what I'm saying. I don't think you need to understand shit that deeply when it comes to tariffs. Like, I feel like this is very common sense stuff. And if you think about it for a little bit, kind of see that it doesn't make sense what they're saying.
the country and across the world. They can help us, or they're going to face some consequences.
Okay, so notable, you are acknowledging it is possible that prices could at least initially go up. Secretary Noem, let me shift now to the southern border where you are. Let's talk about the administration's mass deportation plans. There are a lot of questions about the announcement this week that Guantanamo Bay will be used as a detention facility for migrants. Will people...
Oh, that was a dirty dab. Oh my God. You know what was slimy was that fucking shit that got snuck into my dab there. Oh my God. Okay. What this conversation is, though, is a good segue into my next topic of conversation, right? So let me go back a little bit. She asked a question that's important.
Guantanamo Bay will be... There are a lot of questions about the announcement this week.
Christmas. There was a little bit of reclaim in there by accident. I wasn't trying to smoke the reclaim. But I forgot that there was a little bit, like, off to the side in the Petri dish I got over here. I forgot about it.
That Guantanamo Bay will be used as a detention facility for migrants. Will people held at Guantanamo have the same due process rights and access to attorneys that they have here in the United States?
Yeah, I wasn't trying to hit that shit, but I forgot to clean it out of that dish.
Yes, due process will be followed, and having facilities
But
at Guantanamo
I will say
Bay
this.
will be an asset
That made me fucking stone this shit, so it worked.
to us, and the fact that we'll have the capacity to continue to do there what we've always done. We've always had a presence of illegal immigrants there that have been detained. We're just building out some capacity. So we appreciate the partnership.
Right? Camps. That's the next thing. Camps. Guantanamo Bay, Trump has moved to start slamming people into Guantanamo Bay. And, you know, goes back to that whole thing about, like, what was it, Cenk Uygur, I think, not too long ago, had a whole fucking debate on whether or not camps were actually going to fucking happen. And now they're actually happening, right? They're not just happening a little bit, but they're happening a lot of it, right? Actually, can I find that? Let's see if I can find that. Nah, I'm not gonna be able to find it. But he did have an argument. I think it was with the girl that's like from the Bituation or whatever. They had like a debate about like Trump and all the stuff he's gonna be doing and stuff like that. And she brought up the whole camps, and she's like, he was like, oh, you really believe they're gonna fucking do something like that? Camps? Like, really? Fucking camps? And, you know, meanwhile, not only are building camps in the border, but they're also shipping people off to Guantanamo and shit like that.
Of the DOD in getting that up to the level that it needs to get to in order to facilitate this repatriation of people back to their countries. So remember that Guantanamo Bay clearly by this president has said that it will hold the worst of the worst, that we are going after those bad actors. This last week I was
they claim that they're only putting criminals in there, but they haven't even been like open about the numbers of people that they've deported. They haven't even been open about like who exactly, from what crimes they've committed or anything like that. It's just all like, we just gotta take it for what they had said it was, right? Which is kind of crazy. So the first group of migrants have been sent to Guantanamo. Legal challenges loom, right? It's the most recent stuff. On top of that, Trump has ended, was it temporary protection status for thousands of Venezuelans. Hundreds of thousands, actually. Oh my god, that dab's fucking me up. Jesus Christ. For hundreds of thousands of people have gotten their temporary protected status taken away from them, which is, you know, puts them as a target. They're probably gonna get deported if they haven't been already. Some of them, pretty sure they did start sending people back. But it's pretty fucked up. And it's even crazier too, because I'm pretty sure I saw before that a large portion of like Venezuelans in America voted for Trump. I'm pretty sure that's what had happened. If the worst of the worst were in there, Elon would be in there. Exactly. The most egregious, the most violent, the most fucking terrible people in the world are chilling.
Well, there's a lot of news
They're
coming
chilling.
out.
They got all the money that they need, and they got control over the United States. They're chilling.
White House. One item is President Trump's decision to revoke temporary protected status for hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans. A decision met with controversy and a passionate response from the local community. NBC 6's Laura Rodriguez is live from Doral with reaction this evening. Laura.
Well, some Venezuelans say they feel betrayed by the Trump administration, and they want to make it clear the majority of Venezuelans are not criminals.
And good people, I pay my taxes, I
gotta pay
follow the
attention more
rules.
where I
Alvaro Duran is a TPS
fucking
recipient.
dabs.
He's in the process of obtaining a green card because he's married to a U.S. citizen. However, his mother and siblings are now in limbo.
Go back to Venezuela is not an option.
Not an option for hundreds of thousands of people who say they may face jail time or retaliation for speaking out against the Maduro regime that remains in power. In a TPS termination notice, DHS said in Venezuela there are notable improvements in
Discord debate once, right, where these people were trying to tell me that Venezuela is actually not that bad, and it's a bunch of fake news that Venezuela is this bad, that apparently that they got all the things that they need. They got like water and electricity. They even have like a McDonald's out there or some dumb shit like that, right? And it's like they couldn't even for a second like not even comprehend how how somebody could find themselves in the situations that some of these like people that flee from there find themselves in. Not even for a second. And I get it, I guess, because they've never suffered or experienced anything like traumatic or fucked up themselves. Like they've lived an entire life where they've kind of just taken everything for granted, right? Everything's like really peachy over here. Even despite the fact, right, that we got all this crazy shit happening, right? Even right now, as the state of America is, as it is currently, is like 20 times fucking 2,000 times better than some of the lives that some of these people living in those countries that are fleeing live in. Even as it is right now, it's still better. And that's the type of shit that I feel like these people like that are so against immigration and are so quickly to cheer on shit like this. That's why they just don't get it. They just don't get it. I think they're under the impression that like the entire world is like how it is around us here or something. That like all the people that they also meet out here are the same everywhere else, right?
Several areas such as the economy, public health, and crime that allow for these nationals to be safely returned to their home country.
Conditions have not changed. Actually have getting worse.
At a press conference in Doral Monday, Venezuelan Americans denounced the Trump administration.
Reclaim, that's a good question. Reclaim is a term for oil, right? For THC oil. When you smoke some oil, I'll show you right now. When you smoke oil, right? Once it goes through and it's been kind of like vaped a little bit, burnt, some of the stuff that hasn't been completely burnt gets sucked up in there, right? So like this shit that's in here, that's like the reclaim, right? So it's like oil that's been almost at a temperature where it could have been vaped, but it didn't get to a high enough temperature yet, and it just ended up like passing through into like some of the chambers of the device that you're using, right? So Okay, I have smoked vapes bud before, but it was just fine, to be honest. Well, yeah, I mean, you could do it. You know, it's just a matter of it tastes like not that great, and it's like for weed, like for flower, is a different story because I think the THC level gets very, very low, much lower than it would normally. It's actually better to eat the vapes bud than it is to smoke it, right? So you should have ate it. You should have put it on like some fucking on a graham cracker with some like peanut butter or some shit and like baked it a little bit, because then it would have been edible. But when it comes to oil, it's a little bit different. Oil it has a lot of THC in it still, so you can still get a decent hit. It's still going to be like a little less stronger, but you'll still get like a decent hit out of it. It's gonna taste like shit though. It's gonna be like a fucking crazy high temperature, and it's gonna fuck you up. It always tastes crappy to me. Yeah, I tried eating it a few years back. Yeah, you gotta like do some like Gordon Ramsay shit with weed in order to make it fucking taste good sometimes. It's possible though. Don't get me wrong, it's possible. You can make something taste. You can make the bud taste good if you like put it with the right stuff, but like that's not that easy sometimes. You gotta be a chef or a baker, I guess. I don't use much anyways. I usually make a gram last a week. Nice. I wish I was like that, dude. I've been smoking for 17 years now. I think 18.
Administration and South Florida Republicans.
More than betrayed. Beyond betrayed. They used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign...
Come on! Whoa.
Denounced the Trump administration.
Worse.
To their home country.
Conditions have not changed. Actually have getting worse.
At a press conference in Doral Monday, Venezuelan Americans denounced the Trump administration and South Florida Republicans.
More than betrayed. Beyond betrayed.
Because they voted for them.
They used us. They actually, during the campaign,
She voted
and I don't
for
want
them.
to make this political,
It is already political.
Campaign,
it's all about politics.
Elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that he was not going to touch the documented people.
I didn't think that.
You're stupid for believing them. Everybody told you. Oh my God. Everyone in the fucking country was screaming to the heavens that Trump is a fucking liar. And you ate it up anyway. How could you still fucking sit here and be shocked that they lied to you? How? I don't get it. Oh my God. How could you still be shocked? They can't just take accountability and say they were stupid. Exactly. They didn't even, bro, it's like you didn't even lie to them. They barely fucking lied to them. They said it once, but the rest of the time they've been saying the complete opposite. They've been saying more so that they were going to target them rather than saying that they weren't going to target them at all. Like, it's fucking crazy. They weren't listening to everything else that they were saying. It's crazy. Oh my God. I started when I was 16 and I'm 30 now. Oh shit. Yeah, I did too, actually. I'm 31, but I never take tolerance breaks. I haven't taken a tolerance break ever. When I use heavy, I got weird psychosis. Oh shit, damn, that sucks. Well, weed affects everybody differently, so everyone's got their own different systems. Yeah, I guess the two set in the ways. Yeah, I really don't get it. I really don't fucking get it.
Suspension of TPS was warranted at this time. Venezuela certainly is not.
It's like the same shit that I was. Oh my God, the same response from the other guy I was just talking about this morning when I talked to him about the whole like Trump is for peace shit. As soon as as soon as he was like so fucking wrong, you can't like look away from that. He's not even taking accountability for him, like why he was wrong.
Safer place today.
He's pushing it onto them. He's blaming them for it. He's telling them, oh, well, they lied to me. That's why I was wrong. I wasn't wrong because I didn't look into it. I wasn't wrong because I ignored what everyone else was saying and made myself feel like I was smarter than thou because I believed something that most people didn't believe. Like,
so I'm not in favor of everything.
We could have. The Floridians out here are so fucking stupid. Floridians are so fucking stupid, man. They're so stupid. I know that as someone who lives in Florida. I feel like I'm surrounded by the lowest IQ fucking troglodytes that I've ever seen in my life, because they're out here telling people that they're proud that they didn't vote for fucking weed because they don't get to grow. They weren't going to be able to grow it. They rather keep getting arrested They rather not be able to buy it from a legitimate source. They rather continue having to rely on some random fucking guy who makes them wait like 7 hours, a couple days sometimes, to have a single strain. They rather all this bullshit. They rather risk having weed that's been sprayed with bullshit, right? They rather all this stuff than to be able to just buy weed legally without having to get arrested because they can't grow the weed. Okay, you want to grow weed in tax tax? Exactly. They're not even good. Bro,
The Trump.
all the people who complain about that have never grown a weed plant in their life. As a matter of fact, I'll even go as far as say they never had a plant, period. They haven't even had a fucking succulent. I bet you if they did, it'd be dead. There's no shot they're gonna be able to grow weed.
On Friday, Jimenez sent a letter
They're
to
probably
DHS
too broke to fucking do it in the first place. You gotta buy like a bunch of shit. There's no shot they're gonna be doing that.
Secretary Kristi Noem urging her to make sure law-abiding Venezuelans are not unjustly penalized.
Those are the same people who fucking come into my job asking for the highest THC for the lowest fucking price. Oh, I only got $15 to spend. What's the best indica you got? It's the same shit. Then they're gonna talk about, oh, I can't fucking grow, that's why I didn't vote for fucking weed. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. You can't afford a hoe. You can't afford you can't afford water for your plant anyway. You can't afford a pot, right? You're definitely not gonna be able to afford a hydroponic pod. Get the fuck out of here.
Focus, and this administration needs to focus.
Every one of my friends that grow a weed plant outside said it was swamp weed. Yeah, exactly. It's just gonna be worse than what the hippies smoked back in like the 60s. It's just gonna be fucking garbage.
On putting out the fire, which is getting rid of the Maduro, the illegitimate Maduro regime.
Good shit.
one
I
group
can't
of
believe these
Venezuelan
people are fucking
TPS
driving me
holders will
crazy. I
see
think I
their
know where
protect-
this is. This place looks familiar. I'm pretty sure I know exactly where this fucking is.
Expire this April. Another group will likely see those protections expire come
You know what?
September.
Damn it, man.
Reporting live in Doral, I'm
Fucking
Laura
make it
Rodriguez,
so hard for me to
NBC
feel
6
bad
News.
for him sometimes. God, this is what they brought upon themselves. I am so hands off on this. I'm not gonna say they deserved it. This is just what they brought upon themselves, right? I'm not gonna sit here and say they deserve all this shit. It's fucking horrible. I'm sure not all of Venezuelans have voted for Trump or whatever the fuck, but the people who knew them and were the family and who did vote for Trump sent their own family members back to hell, which is kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Why? Because they were enamored by being on the team sports bullshit. Fucking love Trump. I fucking bet you, dude. They'll still vote for Trump again. They still support him. I bet you they still support him on a bunch of different issues. It's just that one now that they're kind of upset about. I bet you they believe everything else he fucking said was A-okay. It was just okay. Some more people got deported too. Some Indians, 100 Indians got sent back home to India. I do know a lot of Indian people who did vote for Trump too, which is kind of crazy. I could pretty much say that I think every single one of the big groups that have been targeted beyond, like, I think maybe Mexicans, but I'm not too sure. I don't even want to say that yet. They all have like a decent portion of people who voted for Trump, right? I know that there was a big shift in Hispanic voters towards Trump, right? That they gained a lot of ground. We already knew that the Cubans were for him, right? But there's a lot more. I know there was Puerto Ricans that did. I know that because it's my family, Puerto Ricans, right? Whatever this is what they've brought upon themselves. It's fucking sad. Black women went hard for Kamala. Yeah. There's a lot of people that just really just acted against their own self-interest, or people who were like advocating for their self-interest, right? Which is, I think that's the biggest tragedy of America at this point. It's one of the biggest tragedies in this country. We have all the tools like that we need. Like going back to that stupid ass video that guy showed me yesterday, the keys of power. We all got the keys of power that we need to make this place a lot better, and we had no idea how to use it. We had no idea how to use it. And now, instead of using it for the better, we are just allowing these keys to rot and rust while someone else is using it for us against our own self-interests and just accepting it as it is what it is. A brief overview. I forgot to cover this too. I found an article saying like all the stuff that's gonna like really affect the tariffs are gonna affect. There's gonna be a lot of stuff in like technology, like phones and shit like that. You know, things that use silicon chips, microprocessors or whatever the fuck. Comes in Mexico, as I said before, it's gonna be fresh produce, like vegetables, fruits, was it avocados, tomatoes, peppers, a lot of shit like that. Cars. I think a Soviet brought it up yesterday. Somebody did. About how cars get shipped over the border. Their pieces get shipped over the border multiple times in the process of them creating a car and stuff like that. Right? So that's definitely going to be affected. Gas as well. Right? Because we don't only drill here in America. We get stuff from elsewhere. And construction materials. You know, because we don't just get all our shit from trees here. We're just cutting down all of our stuff. 92% of black women voted for Kamala. That's good. That's good though. I'm glad that they had their shit together, right? You know? At least it's good to know that everybody's lost beyond the pale, right? And I'm sure that if Kamala had not been how she was, and she was actually like how the tankies had said that she was, they probably would not have supported her. If she was as bad as they had painted her out to be, I'm pretty sure they would not have supported her. US Senate now. Oh fuck, man, I forgot about this. We have a fucking spy. We have a spy as our lead spy that leads all the spies in the United States. And this woman is a fucking Russian plant. Congratulations, United States of America. You literally elected a mole. A mole to be in charge of all the spies and moles that we run. Tulsi Gabbard 100% has a ton of Russian connections. That's disgusting, right? She's 100% bought and paid for by Russia. And she's from Florida, right? No surprise there! Haha! Florida's where all the fucking piece of shits come from, politically speaking. But she 100% is from that bullshit, right? And she was questioned in her hearing for her fucking Senate appointments, which she's definitely going to pass 100%, on her positions with Snowden, right? Edward Snowden, which I have like, I have conflicting feelings about, right? All I'll say is I'm glad that he brought to light this whole like government spying on us shit, right? Everything else, not so okay with, or not so sure with, I would have to say. And her position about Russia and Syria specifically, because not too long ago she had a meeting with, was it the former leader of Syria, which was very much questionable, right? He should still be held accountable by law, exactly. Yeah, and he stole a bunch of other shit from what I remember. I don't know enough to know the full like length of what he's done, but it's beyond weird to me that he's so willing to give all that up to Russia, right?
You even called Edward Snowden, and I quote here, a brave whistleblower. Gabbard, a simple yes or no question. Do you still think Edward Snowden is brave?
Mr. Vice Chairman, Edward Snowden broke the law. I do not agree with or support with all of the information and intelligence that he released, nor the way in which he did it. There would have been opportunities for him to come to you on this committee or seek out the IG to release that information.
Russia literally kills people like Snowden or jails them for life. Exactly. The only reason why I believe that Snowden went right straight over to there and hasn't been like given up or whatever the fuck it is, and he's not dead yet, is because he was basically also bought and paid for by Russia. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. That the whole reason why he was able to do any of this stuff in the first place is because he's being influenced by Russia.
He also, even as he broke the law,
working
released
directly for them.
information that exposed egregious, illegal, and unconstitutional programs that are happening within our government
Excuse me, Mr.
that
Gabbard.
led to serious reforms that Congress undertook.
Do you believe, as the chairman of this committee believes, as the vast majority of members of our intelligence agencies believe, that Edward Snowden was a traitor to the United States of America?
Senator, if confirmed as
This is when the
Director of
rubber hits
National
the road.
Intelligence, I will
This is
work
not-
with you to make sure that
This is
there is
not
not
a
another
moment for
Snowden-like
social
leak.
media. It's not a moment to propagate theories, conspiracy theories, or attacks on journalism in the United States. This is when you need to answer the questions of the people whose votes you're asking for to be confirmed as the chief intelligence officer of this nation. As my colleague said, this is not about you, it's about
Shit, I forgot to unmute myself. I just had a fucking thing with the fridge. I was fighting with it. I was trying to find my own snacks. I thought I had some other snack. I didn't have that fucking snack. And I was like, I can't keep eating sweets. So then I decided, fuck it, I can keep eating sweets because it's my day off. Now I'm back. Sorry about that. No country allows leaks of classified files without punishment. I don't know why people get mad when people say he should still be arrested. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't get it. I really don't understand why either. I just don't get it. It's like they think he's, I think I know why. I think it's because they think he's a hero. Like, he did, like, the government was spying on us and they did do some fuck shit, right? That whole thing was pretty fucking crazy. I'm not gonna lie. What he showed us about what they're doing was pretty crazy. But that doesn't make what he did and the manner of what he's done and everything else that he's did, because that wasn't the only thing that he did. Doesn't make any of that shit okay or legal or whatever the fuck, right? I'm pretty sure he sold information to Russia, so that's why I take care of him. Yeah, but I have the sneaking suspicion that's a little bit more than that. I feel like the whole reason he even did in the first place because he had to deal with Russia, and that they were anticipating for him to get there at some point to take care of him. But I don't know.
People that serve the intelligence agencies of the United States. Is Edward Snowden a traitor to the United States of America? That is not a hard question to answer.
Man, why can't we have like younger
stakes
people
are this
represent
high.
us, man? It was always these fucking old people. Like,
Senator,
I
as
understand they're
someone who
trying
has
to
served
advocate
yes
for
or
us,
no?
and I guess he's on the right side, but I feel like it would be so much easier because this guy is a lot older than she is. She's a lot more on her wits and stuff like that. I just need more young people.
Is Edward Snowden a traitor to the United
Ask
States
her
of
if
America?
Soros is a traitor. She will say
As
yes.
someone who has
I'll go on
worn
to
our
my
uniform
questions.
in
This
combat, I
Oh
understand
my
how
God, fuck
critical
you.
our national security
Apparently
is.
you don't. You have said
Talking about, I have
on
worn a
February
uniform before. Fuck
23rd,
you.
2022, at the very moment that Russian tanks were rolling across the peaceful border of Ukraine for the first time, you tweeted at 11:30 p.m. your time, "This war and suffering could have easily been avoided if Biden administration / NATO had simply acknowledged Russia's legitimate security concerns regarding Ukraine's becoming a..."
That's Russian propaganda. That's Russian propaganda, by the way. That's Russian propaganda. And I'm pretty fucking sure Hassan has floated this before. I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure he has.
member of NATO.
Probably
Did you
something
say
similar
that,
to
yes
this
or no?
sentiment.
I believe you're reading my tweet, Senator.
Yes is the answer. A few months later, you said on your podcast, and I quoted it Quote, but this
She's number one
regime
spy.
change war against Russia.
She's number one spy. She's top spy. She's the spy of all spies. She's spying on the spy. She's got such a crazy level of power. And you know what? I'm not trying to be alarmist. I'm not trying to be extremist right now. But the danger and threat that our national security is under right now, like, this is beyond economies, beyond egg prices, this is beyond fucking, people getting kicked out of the country, right? I'm talking about, are we a threat from our enemies under attack of something super severe, right? That would be on the kin of, like, wartime stuff. Like, is that the threat that we're under? Like, that's the type of shit that we now are in jeopardy with because we've allowed Trump to do the shit that he has done.
That the U.S. and NATO are waging via their proxy in Ukraine didn't begin when Putin invaded Ukraine. They had their eyes set on this objective long before that. Did you say that, yes or no?
I believe you're reading my tweet.
I know he said some Russian propaganda. I know he has. I've seen it before. I just don't know to the level in which that he has spouted it.
There's a lot
the answer
more.
Is yes.
You're quoting a
But
podcast.
I do know he has the position that it's Ukraine's fault that they got.
I'm happy to have a conversation with the chairman about whether I'm taking anything out of context. I don't think I am. And your answer is yes. Are you aware that your comments about proxy wars and Russia's legitimate security concerns, to quote your own words, are in alignment with what the Russians have said to justify their invasion of Ukraine?
I'm not gonna lie, this guy looks stoned as fuck back here. This dude right here. His eyes are like so watery. He's like, I don't even know what the hell's going on. I'm about to fall asleep.
Yes or
Senator,
no?
I don't pay attention to Russian propaganda.
So
My goal is to speak the truth,
the answer is no.
regardless of whether you like it or not.
I'll take it. That's fine. You said you are used to speaking truth to power.
Yes.
I'm shocked to hear you now say that, you are agreeing. I'm not shocked because I know you said it. You are agreeing that you basically said that Putin was justified in rolling over the peaceful border of Ukraine the first time since World War II.
The fact that some of these people accept that premises is fucking crazy to me. Ukraine is at fault for being invaded by fucking another country, any country. To victim blame a country, it doesn't even matter what fucking country. To victim blame a country for it being invaded by other countries, that's so crazy to me. How do you justify believing this? How? I don't get it. He looks like Bryan Cranston. He does, actually. I don't think about it. You're right.
That a free nation.
I think you're right, actually. Oh yeah, he does. Damn, you're right. Without the fucking beard. Which video was it? Was this one? Oh yeah. Wow. He looks a lot like him. What the fuck?
Had been invaded by a totalitarian
a lot
state,
like him.
and you
He's
were
fucking
there
crazy.
at 11:30 p.m. that night.
He needs a beard, bro.
To say that you were with them, not us. And let me tell you something. You say,
Wait, was that the Syria?
and you were there
Assad?
at 11. Had been invaded first time since World War II that a free nation had been invaded by a totalitarian state, and you were there at 11:30 p.m. that night to say that you were with them, not us. And let me tell you something. You say you don't know because you don't read Russian propaganda.
She's a fucking traitor. He looks like the Malcolm. You're right. No, that one's funny. You're right. He actually does, like the cleaned up, like actual dad type fucking get up. Yeah. Not the one that sells meth in his basement. No, you're right.
And Russian state TV then aired your comments. Did you know that?
Senator, I think you should also quote the statement that I made criticizing
She's a fucking
Putin
traitor.
for his invasion
What
of
I would
Ukraine.
say,
Do you accept the conclusion broadly that Assad
She's an
used
insane
chemical
national
weapons
security risk.
against
It's crazy.
Syrians?
Yes, and I'm on the record
They
for
should shoot
years
her right
of
now.
agreeing with that
They
broad
should have
assessment.
shot her.
Thank you.
She's a
Can
traitor.
you
She's gonna
explain
fucking
to me
ruin this
then
country.
why you doubted the intelligence community's conclusions in these two cases, Duma? and
You're a traitor,
Kanchikun?
man. They never. Oh my god. This is one of the things I really hate about U.S. politics sometimes is that some of these politicians are so fucking old and they're so fucking hung up on being civil and all this stuff that they can't just straight up say something that is true because they're afraid it's gonna be offensive, I guess. Like, bro, like the whole shit about calling people fascists. Apparently, it's like a bad word. I'm getting carried away with it. They're fucking fascists. Call them for what they are.
But not the others, and please be specific.
The question specifically that I raised around these two came about because there were two reasons. One, that assessment was made with high confidence and low information. The information that they had came from those on the ground in an al-Qaeda controlled area and therefore were al-Qaeda linked sources. And there was conflicting information that came from the UN's Office on the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons inspectors, as well as an MIT professor, Ted Postel.
Were you aware Postal relied on a chemistry student with a record of defending the Assad regime?
This is fucking nuts.
At that time, I was not. I have been made aware since.
Do you consider this person or these two individuals now, do you consider them a better source for the chemistry of sarin gas than the U.S. intelligence community?
I assess that at the time, the information, I don't know the second person you're referring to, but MIT professor Ted Postel and the inspectors of the OPCW provided some credible questions that deserved examination.
Okay, thank you.
Credible question. Oh, but they can all call us pedophile baby sacrifices. They can call us whatever the fuck they want. They can literally call us anything. Anything. It'll stick. If it sounds funny enough, it'll stick even longer. But yes, they can say anything without impunity, without
Attempt to weigh
accountability,
Postal's
without
claims
any of that
against
shit.
the significant
And
evidence.
somehow both sides are the same, and we have to treat them like, you know, we would anyone else, and blah, 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 blah,
assessments
blah.
already conducted by the IC.
Yes, I did.
What I have seen makes it clear that at the same time that you were skeptical of our intelligence community's assessments, you would not apply the same skepticism to information that came from sympathizers of Russia and Assad. And I think that's something that we should all be concerned
because
about.
she's a Russian plant. That's why. Alright, so why do they keep playing this shit? I don't want to watch the Daily Show. Fuck you. I'm so pissed off at Jon Stewart. Get this motherfucker out of my face. Trump, Tulsi Gabbard's views on Russia, Syria, Trump, and government surveillance in her own words. On Russia, Ukraine. She believes a lot of Russian propaganda, Russian conspiracy theories, like labs that could release and spread deadly pathogens, right? And Ukraine, apparently they're being US funded. She believes that they're building fucking bioweapons there to attack Russia with, right? Just fucking crazy. You know, she believes that Russia was right in invading because they needed to stop the NATO invasion, right? Similar like rhetoric there towards Russia. We already saw what she feels about Edward Snowden on her visits with Assad. Right, here we go. Gabbard traveled to Syria in 2017 to meet with President Bashar Assad, a visit that angered lawmakers from both parties, who said she helped legitimize an accused war criminal, a key ally of Russia and Iran. Gabbard has defended the trip and her belief that meeting with adversaries can result in dialogue and peace, right? This is a continuing talking point that actually stems from Trump, you know, about the whole peace. I'm gonna bring peace to the world because I'm best friends with all of our enemies and all that kind of shit, right? It's bullshit. We all know it's bullshit, but When the opportunities arose to meet him, I did so because I felt that it was important that if we profess to truly care about the Syrian people, about their suffering, then we got to be able to meet with anyone that we need to if there's a possibility that we can achieve peace. Right? Meeting with our enemies to achieve peace. She's going to sabotage Ukraine with fake or late intel. She will 100% do that. Russia is about to get a crazy advantage, and I'm not going to be surprised if, because of Trump, Ukraine will lose the war. Hopefully that's not the case, and hopefully some of our European friends will step up to the occasion, and maybe it'll be enough, but God knows, because it kind of sounds a lot like World War II or World War III, right? And that would suck. On Thursday, she said U.S. leaders shouldn't be adverse to meeting with all kinds of people to learn and listen. She asked him tough questions about his own regime's actions. No, she did not. She did not. Shed no tears for the fall of the Assad regime, but today we have an Islamist extremist who's now in charge of Syria. Of course she would say that. Syria ousted Assad because of his extremist totalitarian dictatorship that's went on for a very fucking long time. So I'm not surprised that she's going to accuse whoever is there of being an Islamic extremist. It's not beyond the pale that it might actually be. I haven't checked, but still, this is not surprising that this is her response. When she was pressed about comments she made in 2017, when she was asked if she was skeptical that Assad's regime used banned chemical weapons to strike his own people, despite that being the repeated conclusion of U.S. authorities' independent analysis. So she's denier that the people that she said that she wanted peace with was bombing people with banned chemical weapons. His own people, not just any people, but his own people. Terrible, terrible shit. So, yeah, she's about to become our leader of the spies of the United States. It's fucking crazy. RFK is also most likely going to pass. Well, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of enough pushback against any of these key figures, right? Which sucks because, you know, now the United States is going to take a hit on all fronts. All fronts. We've lost ground on all fronts. Congratulations, guys. We're losing the war slowly but surely on all fronts. Here's another front that's about to be attacked. The Department of Education. He is now officially declared that the Department of Education will now be abolished.
Than any other country.
Let's hear it.
We spend more per pupil than any other country in the world, and we're ranked at the bottom of the list. We're ranked very badly. And what I want to do is let the states run schools. I believe strongly in school choice, but in addition to that, I want the states to run schools, and I want Linda to put herself out of a job. If I could give the schools back to Iowa and Idaho and Indiana and all these places that run properly.
This was the tactic that he used when it came to abortion, right? Claiming that he's actually not for or against these things, but he's for letting the states decide whether or not they're for or against these things. Despite the fact that he constantly sides and shows support with the people who are 100% against these things.
There's many of them. I think. So if you look at the list,
it's like he says enough that he can get away with lying while also get away with telling the truth that people need to, that he wants people to hear.
Denmark, Sweden, Norway, believe it or not, China's doing very well on that list. A list of well-educated, where they run their school system well. You have a lot of countries, not surprising.
Schools in underfunded communities are going to suffer. They're probably even going to fucking close down. They'll probably even close down. Like no lie. Just school lunches will suffer. They're probably not even going to have any. They already barely have any to begin with. Conservatives were so against funding that shit. They always have been. They always have been. This is our education system was already super fucked. It was already super fucked. This is going in a direction that's going to completely screw us over. Like, we were already having a ton of kids and people that were fucking stupid and the education system had already failed them. Now shit's not even gonna work. And honestly, the reason why I think most of these schools are gonna shut down is because he's been pushing for private schools much more. It's in his project 2025 and Agenda 47. In Agenda 47, he has like 5 videos about private schools. He wants to make it so that there's like public funding for private schooling, and not even just private school. Actually, no, beyond private schooling, homeschooling. He wants that the most. He wants kids to be homeschooled rather than be in public schools. He wants to defund public schools. Fuck that shit, right? He did claim he wanted to make his own, like, quote-unquote replacement, the American Academy. But his promises for that is a bunch of bullshit. And also now schools will have all different levels of curriculum because the Department of Education keeps them all in the same curriculum and up to date on academia, yes. And what sucks though, actually, is it doesn't even get to fully do its job like that anymore because so many Republican states have stepped in the way of that. Florida, for example, is one of those situations, right? Here it's illegal to teach about certain stuff that would be part of the standard curriculum. Right, it would be part of the same curriculum. They're not allowed to teach some of that shit. As a matter of fact, if the teachers so much say words regarding that stuff, they can get arrested. Right? It's not even that much of they can't even teach anymore. They can get arrested if they try to teach or even mention stuff about that kind of stuff. Shit, right? Which is crazy. And what sucks is that there's a lot of revisionist history going on with the education because of that change in curriculum. Right? The southern states don't teach so much about slavery. They don't teach so much about like the darker times of US history. They kind of just brush over it or make it seem like it's not that big of a fucking deal, right? It's already been pretty bad, and now they get to cut even more corners and put whatever it is that they want to brainwash these kids with.
Names. I think that if you moved our schools into some of these states that are really well-run states, they would be as good as Denmark and Norway and Sweden and some of the other states. I think I'd work with Congress. I think we'd have to work with the teachers union because the teachers union is the only one that's opposed to it. Nobody else would want to hold them back. Look, we have to tell the teachers union, we're rated last in the world in education of the top 40.
This is so disgusting. Trump administration that takes steps to defund the education system.
On the campaign trail last year,
shit, I think
Donald Trump attacked the influence of lobbyists in Washington.
I think I knocked the camera wire off, so now I look fucking stupid. Damn, I gotta get a new wire because it seems like the one I have is just super loose now. There we go. Trump administration takes steps to defund the education system and department. This is just an article for it. I pulled it up in case I need to read it, but I guess I don't really need to say anything. Jesus Christmas, man. Anyways, the last thing I wanted to go over. I think there's like one other thing after this that I kind of forgot about. Let's see what we got going on for today. Yeah, this is the last thing. Climate change. Something that I feel like we don't talk about enough anymore. Right? I feel like it's kind of brought up here and there when it comes to like conversations about the weather. When it comes to natural disasters that keep happening over and over and over and over again. We've gotten some pretty unfortunate news. There was a goal that the 2C climate had, right? To lower emissions. That was really driving up numbers when it came to climate change. We failed to meet that goal. Not only did we fail to meet this goal, right? But we've crossed the Rubicon when it comes to climate change, right? We've passed the point of no return, and we may have passed that point a long time ago. We're not going to acknowledge that as a society, collectively. It doesn't seem like anytime soon. Especially not for the next 4 years. The New York Post will award this like Trump takes new approach to education. Or the Daily Wire or whatever the fuck. A Breitbart News. Trump has amazing plan to rebuild the education system from the ground up or some shit. But yes, we've crossed the Rubicon. Very, very soon in the next couple decades, we're going to see some crazy shit. I mean, we already are starting to see some crazy shit when it comes to weather. And I know, and I get these conversations all the time from people all over the place. We've noticed, we're starting to technically notice the change in the seasons, the change in the normal patterns that we would typically anticipate and expect when it comes to the weather and the environment around us, right? It's pretty scary, especially since a lot of the warnings that we've heard from environmentalists, scientists for a very long fucking time point to much worse situations than what we already are experiencing. Right? It's hot outside in the winter, yes. Those are like some of the basic things that we've started to notice, where the winter time seems to take longer to happen, and then when it finally does, it lasts longer than it usually does, and it's way colder than it usually is, right? And there's other things too, like maybe you might see less of a certain animal population, or maybe an increase of one that normally wasn't there before, right? There's a ton of shit. And I want to say the most important shit is the natural disaster frequencies, right? The frequency in which natural disasters have been happening and the intensity in which they've been occurring have been increasing rapidly every fucking year, it seems. And whenever we do get a time where it's a brief pause with those natural disasters, when they come back, they're usually 10 times worse than they were last time, right? Take, for example, the hurricanes that have been hitting Florida. I feel like before this year, the year before that, wasn't even that bad. I don't even think a hurricane really came across this way. That. The next year, we're seeing almost nearly Category 5 hurricanes, and then some of them reaching deep into the American territories, past where it usually ends, right? Which is fucking crazy, right? And it's crazy because when you have areas that don't typically get hit by such natural disasters, and people who live in those areas that don't typically get hit by these natural disasters, they live in areas that have infrastructure that's not built to withstand such natural disasters, which means they have catastrophic loss of life or just damages in general. Way more than can be anticipated. And what's scary is that it's not just a storm reaching deep in further than usual, it's a storm that's reaching further than usual, that's stronger than usual, right? It's a really fucked situation. And, you know, take a look at the fires in California, right? You're having areas of California experiencing fires in ways that they never usually do, going as further and lasting much longer than they ever do, right? And the infrastructure, the emergency responses that, you know, certain places are supposed to have, or that they have, are not well funded enough, or there's just not enough of it. Or they've been like defunded, or they've been canceled because of Trump, right? Or, even worse, the resources needed to fight such natural disasters are being hoarded by the fucking corporations, by the incredibly fucking rich people, right? The billionaires have bought all that stuff out, like I covered once before. Like how a lot of the water in California is owned by the Wonderful Company, right? The ones that make Fiji water. When it freezed here in Temple, Texas, almost every tree fell over from the ice weighing them down. How to make an emergency event power was out, etc. See? Exactly. These things don't usually happen in these areas. What happens? The infrastructure that's not built to withstand these things that usually don't happen gets fucked by it, right? And then it takes a long time for them to have to come back from that. What does the future look like in the Trump administration for the environment? Doesn't look good. I mean, right away, we got things like this happening. EPA tells more than 1,000 they could be fired immediately. The Environmental Protection Agency. The Trump administration warned them, right? And it's probably going to likely happen since we've seen what he's already been doing with things like the USA departments and stuff, federal loans, departments and shit, right? So our agency, meant for protecting our environment, is about to be severely defunded, and it's going to have a ton of workers in it removed. Not career politicians, but career government employees.
We're going to save over
Somebody pointed out something that I heard recently that actually was pretty deep. You have people who have been working in some of these positions in government for decades now, right? Meaning, these people have been around and working their positions since we were kids, right? Some of them and their work actually have protected our lives and has protected this country. And if it wasn't for them, we would be severely fucked. Trump has fired all those people. And those people worked for all different types of presidents. Trump has fired all those people. And he's replaced them with random people who just listen to whatever the fuck he says. Did you see the CIA buying out people in the agencies so Trump loyalists can work? Really? Nope. I didn't even fucking see that. In the Environmental Protection Agency? The EPA? Oh my god. Former EPA official sentenced to 32 months in prison for defrauding government under CIA agent guise? Multiple frauds under the bogus guise of performing undercover work. Is it this? Or is it the other way around? Wait, no, this is something different. This has to be something different. It's this? Oh wait, hold on, I got you. I'll pull it up right now. I got the link. Copy. Fuck. CIA offers buyout to entire workforce as part of Trump makeover. What the fuck? Oh shit, hold on. I gotta put this on that special get rid of the paywall thing. I got you. Bitch. The CIA offered buyouts to its entire workforce Tuesday, and what officials said is a bid to bring the agency in line with President Trump's priorities, including targeting drug cartels. The CIA appeared to be the first intelligence agency to tell its employees that they can quit their jobs and receive about 8 months of pay and benefits as part of Trump's push to downsize the federal government. Sorry, it was just more psychological damage that I had to work my way through. Fucking hell. The offer last month made to most civilian federal agencies exempted from categories of federal workers, including those with national security roles. The agency is also freezing the hiring for job seekers already given a conditional offer, an aide to CIA Director John Ratcliffe said. Some are likely to be rescinded if the applicants don't have the right background for the agency's new goals, which also includes Trump's trade war and undermining China. It is literally as broad as 2025. You know, if only they would use this kind of like
to the Kobe show.
work ethic to get shit done if they would only use it for good, rather than fucking us over. This is fucked. Holy crap. I gotta save this article because I gotta tell my boy. I didn't even know that shit. I don't know if he knows that shit either. I don't even know if he knows that shit either. Oh my god. So on top of the whole warning EPA that thousands of people are probably gonna get fired, here's some of his executive orders that Trump has made on the climate and the environment.
President Trump has issued a flurry of executive orders designed to cut back on U.S. environmental protection, to try to cut back on the growth of renewable energy, and to try to drill, baby, drill.
The next item here is the withdrawal from the Paris Climate.
He wants to fuck over our own environmental stuff, right? Our own protected environmental reserves, or whatever the fuck it is you want to call it. He wants to destroy all that so he can pull oil out of the ground.
The Paris Climate Agreement did not impose on the U.S. or any country any particular obligations that it didn't take on itself. So each country came up with its voluntary pledges. Trump now, as he did before, is withdrawing from the negotiations. It means that the dominant player going forward will be China.
This we already knew he was going to do. He's been saying this since day one. I mean, he already did it once before, so of course we're going to anticipate that.
So several of his executive orders will have the effect of at least trying to incentivize more production of oil and gas. And the reason I say trying is it's important to note that the United States right now is the largest producer of oil of any nation in history.
It's hard to imagine what kind of national energy emergency we're in. The only justification that he put forth in the executive order was because of price. Now, the price of energy is now not historically high, and none of the actions that he's talking about taking will actually reduce the price of energy. Actually, some of them will increase the price of energy.
We're talking about, remember, this is the same guy who said shit along the lines of he's going to make clean coal happen or something like that.
Wind, which is one of his particular targets, is an inexpensive way of producing energy, and if he's trying to stop development of wind, that's going to hurt rather than help the price of energy. The executive orders call for speeding up and in some cases bypassing the restrictions of the Endangered Species Act and allowing oil drilling for the first time in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, which is a very important wildlife habitat that's been protected
paint
for
a good
decades.
picture for us. Like, I feel like I don't have to really stress this out that much. You know, there is zero effort going to be made towards preventing or improving the overall climate change issues or any of the stuff that's really screwing over our environment here in the United States, right? So, like, and I would say it would be up to ourselves in order to help fix this to prevent shit from really getting as far as it might, but that's not true. Like, I would be lying if I said that. Like, the really big perpetrators of environmental sin and destruction are the corporations, or like billionaires that have enough money and power to move things to make that happen, right? They're the same people that are cutting down forests, right? They're the same people that are dumping out their wastes into the ocean from their factories and stuff like that. They're the only ones capable of making waste on that level, right? They're the only ones capable of making environmental destruction on that level, right? The individual is not capable of doing any of that, right? Us using plastic spoons and forks and straws at McDonald's and refusing to do that isn't going to come close to scratching the surface of making a difference, even if everyone in the United States decided to all get together and do it at once, right? There's a lot more going on that affects the environment that we try to protect, and the people that are destroying it the most are the ones that have the money to destroy it the most, which is those have the technology destroyed the most, which is these corporations. People are going to blame us for the climate change and everything melts. Yes. Yes. They'll blame us for it. For sure. And the US 100% is going to contribute to so much more environmental devastation, particularly in the United States too, on its own lands, which kind of sucks because one of my favorite things about this country is our wildernesses. The wildernesses are all across the United States is beautiful. I love the forests, I love the mountains. Oh, I love, you know, even the deserts and, you know, Nevada. All this shit is beautiful. All shit's beautiful. The oceans, all of it, the rivers. We have a very beautiful ecosystem here in the United States, and you know, as someone who goes camping a lot, who's hiked the Appalachian a lot, you know, who's lived in that area for a very long time, you know, this is one of the most depressing things about the Trump administration to me is that he's just going to slowly but surely, this type of mentality, not just him, but this type of mentality shared amongst his cultist members. Are going to slowly but surely erode some of the things that I rely on to make myself happy, right? That I retreat to, my own retreat to get away from all this shit. I want to see themselves there. Like, one thing that really fucked me up, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why this fucked me up so much. I've heard similar shit happening to other people in worse ways, which I'll get to, but when I went camping once, and I was like, and like, I don't know, I was walking on I had spent a day already on the Appalachian Trail, so it was about a day and a half in walking somewhere. And on one of the trees, I see carved in fucking Trump 2024, and I'm just like, holy fucking shit, dude. Like, why? And, you know, I say this, it was a story not too long ago here in Florida, apparently a fucking, what do you call it? Was it a sea turtle? It was some type of super rare fucking turtle that's endangered, right? I don't know if it was a turtle, it was some type of mammal, some type of like water mammal. Somebody had graffitied, like spray painted on the body of this animal from 2024. It was spray painted, carved it on there, or some shit like that. Like, what is that? What is this? What do they think they're doing? Why do they have to do that? That's so disgusting. And I come across that in nature by myself. It shatters my... It really does a number, even though it's so small and so insignificant, it does a number on my ability to keep my peace within myself sometimes. Because when I'm retreating to somewhere that means a lot to me like that, and I see that infection been spread in places that doesn't even make fucking sense for it to be at, it's kind of crazy. Give me a second, guys. Alright, cool. My bad, guys. I had to walk away in a second. My girlfriend got home. People, even China's moving away from fossil fuels. Everyone except Russia and the US mainly. Yep. In the US, I feel like we have a lot more, industry going on that's really polluting shit. I might be wrong. God knows what Russia's doing over there. But I know that their impact is still strong. Here's another thing that's kind of crazy, right? Trump, if you remember this, during the peak of the wildfires, accused California of their economic policies as being the reason why their fires were getting so bad and that they didn't, resolve them. They were blaming them for having all this water and not using any of it. And he pointed to like the San Jose or San Juan Delta or some shit. He wanted them to reroute water from the rivers and just all the water from the delta. Essentially, you want to reroute it, take it out of the ecosystem, and put it into the public water system and use it to fight the fires, right? Which would obviously destroy the ecosystem that water comes from, right? That delta is a very fragile ecosystem. There's a extinct species of fish there, I think, that's very much endangered. What does Trump do? He pulls out a presidential action, an executive order or some shit where they try to force the hand of California to take that water out and use it anyway, right? Which is fucking crazy, right? It clearly doesn't care. I think California is doing all they can to not do that, or not have to fucking be forced to do that, which is fucked. He's such a bitch ass boy. Yes, he is. He fucking is. Dude, what is it with paywalls, man? Why does the fucking news have to do this shit? Used to be that I only had to pay a nickel. I'll get the fucking news delivered to my door every day. Let's see. Huh. Oh no, what are you doing?
On the campaign trail last night.
Whoa. The water unexpectedly released in dams on Trump's orders. Days after President Trump startled some of the most ardent supporters in California's San Juan Valley by having the Army Corps of Engineers suddenly release water from 2 dams, many in the region and beyond were still perplexed. Acting on an order from Washington, the Corps allowed irrigation water to flow down river channels for 3 days into a network of engineered waterways that fan out among farm fields in the San Joaquin, I don't know if I'm pronounced, I sound so fucking white right now, San Joaquin Valley, coursing from rivers to canals to irrigation ditches. Much of the water eventually made its way to retention basins where it soaked in the ground, replenishing groundwater. It nearly flooded California. Oh my god. So they did try to take the water out because they were forced his hand and it fucking flooded. And they probably lost water. Lost that water. They did lose water. Oh my god. He did it out of spite. No, he did do it out of spite. Sorry, I'm just mentally processing the craziness here. He did do it out of spite. The only reason why he launched back like this at California is because it was a blue state. He was trying to force this blue state to do shit, like put in voting laws that they didn't want to put in the first place, but didn't fucking matter because, you know, when he lost the election, he blamed them for fucking rigging everything and stuff like that, which is bullshit. Of course it's bullshit. The fact that he's even saying this, saying that we're not going to help you, we're not going to help you in the correct way, in the correct manner, unless you, unless you make some better voting laws, change your voting laws or some shit. It's crazy. Because you got people dying, and people on fire, their houses are burning down, they're losing everything. And he's more concerned about making himself feel better and getting things to work in his manner than actually doing his job and helping these people. Right. So there's a conclusion of that. So he made this executive order and action to try to provide South California with some water out of spite. Ended up leading to there being some flooding and some loss of water. Which is disgusting. Absolutely and utterly disgusting. Tribal administration pulls funding for endangered California fish at the heart of water wars. Yes. And last but not least, I don't even know if I want to get into this, but I will. Tucker Carlson, one piece of shit, had a conversation or an argument or debate, I guess, with another piece of shit, Piers Morgan, right? We got two of the world's most disgusting piece of shit motherfuckers who apparently found something they disagreed on, and they got into it about it.
Telling off-color jokes off camera. Thank you so much.
No, my pleasure.
We are in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
We are.
I'm not even going to ask you how you wound up here, but I'm glad to see you.
Well, we're both here for the same reason, actually.
We've both gone into the oil
I'm
business.
gonna super play this super fast.
Yeah.
All right.
So I want to ask you.
Wait a
I want to
minute.
start just on a very hostile note, okay? Because I feel like it's a good.
Before I start this, bro, I feel like we gotta mentally prepare ourselves. Let's do some mental therapy, mental gymnastics, guys. We need to shield our brains because this video right here is an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes of just cognito hazard after cognito hazard. Right. This video should be labeled as an SCP. That's how fucking mentally toxic this shit's about to be. Right. So we gotta remind ourselves that we're not crazy. Right? We're gonna remind ourselves that these people are fucking insane. Right? We gotta remind ourselves that the world, we're not losing our mind. We see the world as it is, you know, we understand it. We gotta use common sense. 1 + 1 = 2. Remind yourself these things. Right? Sky is blue. Type shit. It's gonna be okay. This video is bullshit. Don't fall for it. You'll hear the whispers of demons. SCP GDP. Yes. You'll hear the whisper of demons. Fight it. Fight it. I'm gonna try to go as long as I can with this. This is gonna be some, like, you know, some lightning round, fucking intense workout type shit. So let's get into it, guys. I wish you luck, and I wish me luck.
Good. Good. No, let's start with me to continue.
Zelensky is a hero. How could you say that?
I can't believe this guy still does shit, by the way. But Carlson should have been, like, arrested and, like, sent to the gulags or some shit for being a traitor to this country.
I don't agree with you about him or Ukraine.
This guy is in no way, shape, or form American. He's in no way, shape, or form for this country. He's 100% a traitor, and he's a disgusting, filthy piece of shit.
I went to interview him in Kyiv, and he's an extraordinary story. Obviously, this comedian who becomes president, having played a comedian who was a president in a comedy show, right? And I've seen what you said about it. I mean, what's interesting to me on a bigger picture about Ukraine, Russia, your views, all the conservative views in America.
Also, though, I can say the same thing about Piers. He's also a disgusting, degenerate piece of shit. Trump supporting, carrying water, fucking lying ass motherfucker. Both these people don't have that much brain cells going on. Tucker Carlson's about to say a bunch of shit that Piers Morgan is not going to have good responses towards. I bet you half of it he doesn't even fucking know. Right? And the same thing around. The same thing all the way around. Tucker Carlson's going to... Piers Morgan just say a bunch of shit Tucker Carlson's not going to have any responses for because he's not going to understand any of it. Or he's not going to know what the fuck he's talking about. Right? That's what I'm anticipating.
Years ago, there would have been no element of resistance from the conservative side
like they're
about
talking
taking
to
on a
nobody,
Russian dictator
right?
who'd invaded a European country. I know it's a lot more complicated. I know the history, but a lot of very smart people on, a lot of people you've interviewed. And, you know, I do learn a lot each time I talk about all the history, obviously. My brother was a British Army colonel. My sister married a British Army colonel. They've all engaged in conflicts around the world. And so it's complicated. There's no doubt that on the Russian side, they believe they were provoked into doing this. I know that you have sympathy with that view. There's also no doubt from the Ukrainian side that they believe since the 90s they've been this sovereign democratic country, albeit not perfect. You think deeply flawed. I think they've been imperfect, trying to improve. And Zelensky has actually, I think, been a force for good, not bad. But ultimately, what's happened now is that you have a situation where, as Donald Trump told me recently, you know, it's just the mowing fields now, where you have thousands of young men being killed, often on a daily basis, both sides. and no one's winning this war, it seems to me. And if anyone is going to win it, it's likely to be Russia, not Ukraine. And then what happens? And that concerns me enormously. If the West allows Putin to just take the land he's taken, what guarantee do we have he won't try and take the rest of Ukraine? He took Crimea. He's back for more. I think he wants the whole of Ukraine. I think he won't stop there if he's allowed to get it. I think he's a pretty ruthless, evil Russian dictator. How
are we defining, just to define the term so we can follow this in? What's a dictator?
A dictator to me is somebody, well, I would start by saying you have no respect for democratic norms, a free and fair election.
So like an unelected leader would be a dictator?
Well, you wouldn't argue that Putin, for example, has free and fair elections?
No, I'm not that interested actually.
You're not?
Not really, it's not my country. I'm interested in my leaders, whether, they have the consent of their people. It's not of great interest to me. Whether, I do think Putin's like way more popular than, Joe Biden.
To his people?
Yes, more popular in Russia than Biden was ever popular.
I wouldn't dispute that. But why are you so against Zelensky?
No, I'm just trying to understand when you dismiss Putin as a dictator, which totally fair, I guess, but I'm just trying to understand what you mean by dictator. So the first criterion for dictatorship is that you're not elected. And what else? Because Zelensky's obviously not elected either.
Yeah,
so I'm just trying to kind of figure out what you're talking about.
Well, your comparison with Zelensky and Putin over the last 2 years, I found baffling. Because you seem to think there's some moral equivalence between the two. And Zelensky hasn't illegally invaded another country. Do you not have a problem with what Putin's done?
Hold on, I just want to know what a dictator is. I just want to know, maybe he's a better guy than Putin or whatever, and you could say some things about one or nothing, but like if we're just going to define dictator, the first feature of a dictator is he's not elected. So Zelensky's not elected. He's also, he's banned a religious denomination. He's murdered his political opponents. He has banned a language group. Those all seem like features of dictatorship to me. Now, he has the support of the British intelligence agencies. That doesn't mean he's not a dictator, though. That sounds like a dictator. I mean, if I gave you a piece of paper and I'm like, here are some qualities of a European leader, you would say, well, that's not legitimate. That guy's a dictator. I can't support that. But his name's Zelensky, and he was once a comedian, and he does my show, so he's not a dictator. I think it's a dictator.
Well, I would argue that if you look at the history of Ukraine since the 90s, since it became a, want of a better phrase, democratic country, as they would say, well, I mean, by the same criteria you support Putin being popular in his country, I think just under 90% of Ukrainians voted for it. You wouldn't dispute that.
Well, first of all, the country had a coup sponsored by the United States government, the CIA, in 2014.
So, Tucker's trying to spin this idea that Piers actually has some obsession with Zelensky, and I'm pretty sure he's also spinning this idea that Zelensky somehow is a fucking dictator. He's definitely 100% a piece of shit. I mean piece of shit, I'm talking about Tucker. Zelensky's definitely not a fucking dictator. I'm pretty sure, I might be fucking wrong here, I'm pretty sure he's gonna paint this idea that Zelensky came to power and he wasn't elected, and because he wasn't elected, he's a dictator, and he's gonna completely ignore the fact that they were in wartime and they had specific, like the federal government, specific laws and rulings for how they choose leaders during wartime. It's pretty simple, straightforward stuff to understand. I'm not even gonna fucking front with you. Oh, my camera is frozen again. Oh. I gotta stop shaking my desk so much. I don't know what's going on in Russia, but then he says all this stuff about Ukraine. He's gonna do that a lot. That shit's gonna piss me off. That shit pisses me off. How do you know so much about one side of the coin, but not the other? Even though the whole conversation you're having is about the entire coin itself, right?
So everything that happened subsequent to that, I don't think we
it's
can
just
call
so convenient that he's
Zelensky
like
personally is
so
not elected.
stupid about stuff going on in Russia, but he fucking knows everything that's going on in Ukraine. He doesn't though.
He's not an
He
elected.
doesn't know any idea. He has no idea. He's going to say a bunch of lies about
Leader,
something.
he rules by force. There's no election that gives him legitimacy. So that's not a defense of Putin. It's merely an attack on the idea that Putin's the only dictator in this contest. How is Zelensky not a dictator?
Do you think Putin's a dictator?
It doesn't even matter. I feel like it just doesn't even fucking matter too. This conversation is irrelevant. It doesn't even feel like it fucking matters at all. Because what is he trying to say? Is he trying to say because Zelensky's a dictator, what is it? Putin was justified in invading his country? Like, is that what he's trying to say? And again, he rose to power after the wartime had already started. So what the fuck? Do they forget too what had happened in the Donbass as well? Is that like something that they forget as well? Yeah, I keep shaking my desk. He literally spent time with Putin, not Zelensky, but knows more about Zelensky. Exactly. Like this isn't. He even had a whole conversation with him. So for him to say he doesn't know what the hell's going on in Russia, he's fucking lying. He's fucking lying. He's a dirty piece of shit lying. How do you have a fucking interview with the leader of a different country and not know anything about what's going on in that country? but yet advocate so much for that same fucking country all the time. Trying to make it seem like they're the ones out here that are making the right moves, and
Yeah,
they're not
yes.
wrong.
I mean, if I stand up outside the Kremlin and say down with Vladimir Putin, I'm probably in trouble. I don't live in Russia.
Right. I certainly think that Ukraine has had a lot of corruption.
No, but is Zelensky legitimate? How's he legitimate if he's not elected in trouble?
So,
I certainly don't live in Russia. I guess.
I hate this guy.
I mean, if I stand up outside the Kremlin and say down with Vladimir Putin, I'm probably in trouble. I don't live in Russia.
Right. I certainly think that Ukraine has had a lot of corruption.
No, but is Zelensky legitimate? How's he legitimate if he's not elected? Well, how could you support an unelected leader?
Well, he's the president of the country.
Well, he calls himself that, but there's no election that made him president. He blew past the election and said, "Oh, there's a war. We can't have an election."
I don't know if I can do this, guys. I don't know if I can do this. I have so much hatred when I see this dude doing this shit. It is a lie. It is a lie. That's why I had to pause it. That's a lie. What he just says is a fucking lie. He just says a lie. And it's such an easily disprovable lie. And I know the tactic here is to hit people with lie after lie after lie so rapidly that they don't have the chance to like keep up with any of it and disprove or like fact check all of it, because by the time that they even got the chance to do that, you've already moved on to the next fucking lie. You've already moved on to your conclusion. You're already gone that far. This is so egregious. And he looks like a fucking clown. He looks so smug too. I think it's the matter in which he delivers his points that just invokes so much anger.
Election. We're going to change the Constitution. So how is that a legitimate leader? How could you support something like that? That seems, I don't know, like a dictatorship.
Well, I would categorize my support for him as
You don't know what a dictatorship is, you piece of shit. You have no idea what a dictatorship is to be bit you in the fucking ass.
supporting him against an illegal invasion by Russia.
So this is like why we support
you have no idea how Ukraine even handles it. They don't have... In wartime, if they're putting up a leader, it's part of the federal government rulings to put up a leader of that matter. They're not going to have elections like we do here in the United States. They're not going to do the same exact shit as they do here in the United States. But it wasn't it's not a dictatorship. Because just that alone doesn't even define a dictatorship. Like, you're not going to say that every person who became a leader and wasn't elected to become a leader is a fucking dictator. It's just not true.
against Hitler because
well, in a way, we had
Hitler's bad, so Stalin must be good, but no, Stalin's
Even
awesome.
if that was like what he was saying was kind of right, which is not. It's not right at all.
Also a dictator. So like, how about we just don't support dictators if we're against supporting dictators? Or you can take my position, which is, I don't want a dictatorship in my own country because I live in a free country, but we're going to have relations with the country that helps us most. Up to a certain limit, we're not going to like be allies with Stalin.
The argument isn't, we don't support Ukraine because Russia is a dictatorship. We're supporting Ukraine because Russia's invading Ukraine and trying to take territory from allies or people that we give a fuck about and expanding their own country while also killing off some other people, replacing them, doing all types of shit. There's a whole long list of shit that he's doing. It's not just being a dictator.
You know, Winston Churchill or, you know, FDR or something. We're not going to go that far. But in general, we will deal with countries that help us. But when we start having moral conversations about other countries, then we have to stick by our own standards. And by your standard, you're supporting a dictator. No, I wonder how you can do that, Piers.
I'm not saying they're morally pure in Ukraine. I'm not saying they're not riddled with
But how is he not a dictator?
No, here's my point to you. My defense of them.
Bloodthirsty dictator. Bloodthirsty dictator.
He's trying to... Piers can't argue back at all. He's going to be like a fucking fish flapping in the wind. He's not going to be able to handle this conversation or respond to any criticism. He's not going to be able to argue his points at all. Right? But it's clear that Tucker is trying to get him in this like definition trap, right? And trying to get him in this trap of, if we frame it as, you know, the whole thing is about him being a dictator rather than the whole thing is him invading a country and enforcing shit on other European countries and doing similar shit that had led to World War II. Passive aggressive humor, I guess. I guess that's all he's able to do. And I don't think they're going to be arguing with each other here. It feels like Tucker's arguing with him in a way where Piers is just kind of like a cuck out to this, right? Because at the end of the day, they both support Trump. Let's be fucking real. At the end of the day, they're going to both support Trump. They're just going to have this differencing opinion about like foreign affairs, which is not going to change much, because I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this video, Piers is out here like, oh, you know what? You're kind of right. You convinced me. You convinced me, Tucker. And you know what? I was right. I can't do this. I can't do this, man. I can't do this for another, like, I can't even do this for another 5 minutes, let alone an hour and 40. I'm gonna end this shit and play some fucking video games because I need to decompress from the world, man. That was pretty heavy. That was pretty fucking heavy. Today's little political segment hour, whatever the fuck, was pretty heavy. That shit, news out here right now is fucking me up. I need to shoot some people in Marvel Rivals. I need to decompress. I wanna, you know what would be good motivation? I bet you I'll perform a lot better in this game right now today if I do this. I need to imagine the people on the other team in Marvel Rivals. They're just like Tucker Carlson, fucking Alex Jones, Elon Musk, Trump, fucking, you know, just the worst of the worst. And maybe that'll give me enough motivation to do better. God damn. Tucker needs to be executed in a video game. In a video game, guys, in a video game. He needs to be taking out to Asher in a video game. He needs to experience extreme levels of torment and torture in a video game. In a video game. Never in real life in a video game. It's always in a video game, right? Even comic book villains have somewhat just causes. Bro, I've been saying for fucking days now, I've been telling my friend all the time, Dr. Doom is a more progressive liberal fucking leader than Donald J. Trump. Like, even he rules Latveria. Even Latveria has like more fucking civil rights and shit like that than would come under Trump. I'm just changing my title. I'm getting the game booted up. Latveria is wealthy. Yeah, it is actually. No, it is wealthy. Latveria does very well. Latveria loves Doom. And that's not just Doom propaganda for me. Like, I'm not just saying that because I'm like some Doom shill or whatever the fuck. You know, I'm not accepting shekels from Dr. Doom at all. I swear. But I will say this. Mr. Fantastic is retarded, bro. He's definitely not the smartest guy in the world. Jesus Christ. And his wife, the Fantastic Homewrecker? Oh my god. What the hell? I'm just saying. I'm just asking questions, I think. I'm just asking questions. I mean, you know, it's kind of weird that, think about it. It's kind of weird that, Tony Stark was hanging out with, terrorists in the cave in the first place, right? Kind of makes me think that there's some level of corruption there. You know, I'm just saying, both sides. Both sides. That's all I'm saying.
Of course, everybody knows the flamingo. The flamingo is a common visitor on Curacao, and you can usually spot them at the salt flats of Yontil, Yonkok, or the Selenia of Saint Michiel.
fucking soul.
I'm just changing all my settings and I'm done. There we go. Tony Stark is bad. Tony Stark just broke my fucking computer. No, I'm just kidding. Tony Stark is bad because he blew up terrorists and then put them on his stream. Oh, you're right, dude. Those were freedom fighters. Those weren't terrorists. Those were freedom fighters. Tony Stark is anti-Muslim. It's fucking crazy. He should have known, like, the history of the region and shit, bro. Those people were freedom fighters, man. They didn't even do anything wrong, bro. They treated him like it was his best friend. They gave him food, they danced with him, they hung out, they did cool shit. They did cool shit together, like... That's wrong, man. That's wrong. The only reason why he wants to do that shit is because he hates Muslims. That's the only... I'm just saying. They gave him a new heart, bro. That ass, dude. It's fucking crazy.
Hero or villain, I'm not judging.
That's why Tony Stark is pro-settler. Tony Stark is a pro-settler piece of shit. Damn, who am I gonna play as today? This guy took the fucking...
Wind, cloud, and storm.
Whatever, I'll do this, I guess. Nah. Nah. Oh wait, no, I gotta do it because we got one that's disconnected. I gotta fucking...
Who wants to see something fantastic? 30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
That's whack. That's whack.
You know my weapons can still lock onto you even when you're invisible.
I thought we were supposed to be on the same side, Frank.
Don't switch.
But in this business, that can change in a heartbeat.
I'll be sure to remember.
Yeah, those Jericho rockets that the terrorists would have been used on enemy soldiers and colonizers. Exactly, dude. And they only would have used them if they needed to. Like, it would have been like, because they're peaceful. They're peaceful as hell. Just like that time when they killed all those concert goers. Peace. It's terrible, man. Alright guys, I know you just witnessed some trash ass bullshit just now, but that's not how I usually play. I was doing some high shit. I don't know what the fuck I was just doing. That wasn't normal. That's not me. That's not me. It's a warm-up. I'm cold. I'm warming up. I'm warming up. Imagine tripping at a concert and hearing Hamas. Bro, dude. Oh my god. Don't even... Why do you gotta put that nightmare fuel into my head right now? Because I know how it feels to trip. I know how it feels to be in a situation while you're tripping that is like sketchy and you're trying to get yourself out of and shit. Knowing that I was at one where Hamas showed up, and I would immediately know that I had no way out. That was fucked. That I was probably gonna die. That there's no shot I'm not gonna make it out. So I'd have to do my own, like, my secret emergency plan, right? This is my secret emergency plan, right? I just quit the game myself. That's my emergency plan. All F4 in life. I would have phoned up Hassan. Tell him, like, oh. Yeah, because he knows him, right? He's like close friends with him. I mean, he's essentially one of them at this point right now, according to his own words. So like, why did they put me in a team with like everybody's already disconnecting from the fucking get-go? They always be putting me with like the craziest fucking stupid teams. Look at this. I'm the only healer. No wonder. No wonder. No fucking wonder. Damn, this is one hell of a warm-up. Man, I honestly can't help but feel like they're fucking me over in this game. You know what? I have a video I want to watch related to this game, actually. I need to see if this is the case. My friend sent me something before about how the matchmaking system works for different ranks or something. Hamas didn't have to target civilians too. They could just target attacked military installations, soldiers who chose to commit an act of terrorism by killing them. Yep. And apparently they're justified in doing that because these retards think that that's necessary somehow in order to succeed in a revolution. They failed to even ask how. They never. People who say that that was necessary or that was like okay or justified, they never ask how or to what means was this supposed to accomplish. You guys don't stick together for shit. They're just going wherever they want. They're just going for kills. That's what it is. They're just going for kills. Like, Wolverine's not even on the point. There's no reason to be killing civilians. If they say it's for freedom fighting, they're retarded. They don't have... If they can't come up with a legitimate excuse for it, they're fucking retarded. Why is he over there? Bro, I'm healing you, you're right over here. Come over here, you fucking nonce. Where's my fucking team at? I'm holding this shit by myself. Fucking retards, why? I'm on the points. Why are you not on the point? Killing civilians okay, but blowing up the cursed building is terrorism. Yes, no, if you... It's the, it's just the fact that nothing's equal when it comes to holding people accountable or scrutinizing things or whatever. It's like, you're not allowed to do anything, but we're allowed to do all of it. We're allowed to do all of it and more. Why is it the case? Because you've been doing it for a lot longer than I have, according to them. And it doesn't even matter if that's actually true. Like, it doesn't even matter if that's actually true. It could be not the case. Like, they haven't been doing it longer than them. But the other side or whatever the fuck it is they're claiming. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's always going to be the case that they get to do things that you can't get to do. Oh my god, bro. These people don't know how to fucking stay alive.
Judge, jury, executioner!
I'm literally the only healer on this fucking team. I'm not gonna be able to protect nobody who's up there, bro. They're not even on the point. Again, not on the point. Just not on the point. The hate this. Like, we would not have the point right now if it wasn't for me. No one gives a fuck about protecting the healer. Oh god. Of course I'm the one with the ace on it.
It's clear I'm still needed here.
This is not protecting the point. We would not have this point if it wasn't for me. I want to make that abundantly clear. This point would not be ours if it wasn't for me. If it wasn't for me.
It feels good to step outside my bubble every now and then. Seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Alright.
Think you're fast enough to stop a high velocity round aimed straight between your eyes, old timer?
Why would I have to be? I've already disabled the internal mechanisms on all of your weapons.
What the?
Now, play nice. Perhaps all but your...
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Magneto's crazy.
Area. Got it? You think this is a challenge? Try raising 2 superpowered kids.
Derek's, bro.
The mission area is yours.
What is up with my team? I forgot I have to do extra shit because I can't rely on anyone in this team.
Clear, I'm still needed here.
There's still a fight ahead of us. Wait, I didn't put that on there, did I?
Where's everybody? What the fuck is going on here, man? I'm not gonna bother. If they're not over here, yeah, game is over. Oh yeah, if we lose, we lose because of you. I'm so annoyed by this fucking team.
Thought you wouldn't see me again?
Marking his ox.
I hate this.
team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
This is so
I don't give up so
annoying.
easily.
Like, being on games like this is torture, because you're just kind of waiting for it to be over. You can't really just leave.
I won't disappear so easily.
This is so stupid.
Judge, jury, executioner!
It's clear. You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
This is so dumb. Like, we wouldn't be struggling so much if it wasn't for, like, the stupid ass, like, decisions of the team on playstyle. It's like, we only won because of a select few of people who were trying to hold down these, like, points. So stupid. It's so fucking dumb. I feel like that game was so stressful. I played with this guy before, I'm pretty sure. Like, how many times do we have to die for that shit? It's so fucking stupid. Like, that match did not have to be that annoying. What do I got in the mail? Midnight Features event ending soon. Which one's that one? Oh, is this what all this is? Man, I don't want to finish this shit. Yay. I got stuff. I'm sorry, I'm so quiet, I'm just thinking. Let's see. What? I have no idea what's going on here. What the fuck? Anyways, I'm probably gonna hop off, guys. I'm kinda tired anyway. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Appreciate everyone to stop by. And take it easy. Hopefully I got better news tomorrow, which I don't think I will.